Clark goes way over the top and has got the touchdown. Second, play action. Rao has a man down the field.
Downing has a bit of trouble that he has to deal with. He's found himself with space and a target who's open. It is a touchdown.
Hello and thank you for joining us and welcome to Hillside Gardens, the home of the UWE Bullets, and we're about to kick off the 2024-25 American football season. It's a new season with a new league format, new expectations, and joined with me to experience all that and more is Simon Stockwell. Simon, thank you for joining me here in Bristol.
It's great to be here, Craig. What a day we've got for it as well. It was predicted to be cloudy and the sun's just come out.
And as we get ready for the new season, as I said, new league format, National League. How about we hear about some of these teams?
Well, 5 teams in the National League. We've got the Loughborough Students, the Durham Saints, Leeds Beckett Carnegie, and then the 2 juggernauts here today, University of Nottingham Gold and the UWE Bullets. I'm really looking forward to this. We'd heard rumours about a National League for a couple of years, and finally BUCS have put it in. This is going to be playoff calibre football every single week. I cannot wait for it.
I cannot wait, you cannot wait, the people at home can't wait either, and I know a couple of people that also can't wait. We'll go to one of them now, head coach of the UWE Bullets, Dan Mayer, to get his thoughts on the game. Coach Mayer, start of a new season, new league format, but you're still the reigning national champions. How does it feel going into this game and this season?
Yeah, it's exciting, you know, the teams in our division are really strong. I feel like last year and the years before that we've kind of put behind us now. It's a fresh start, a whole bunch of new players, and I'm really looking forward to the new league format. A national league, you know, a lot of travel, but hopefully it's a worthwhile trip.
Yeah, with every game being playoff quality, playoff caliber, every trip's got to be worth it, and I think there's, from our point of view, an emphasis on the players and how you get them ready for the year. With every week being a playoff caliber game, how are you going to prepare for the season?
I feel like we have a routine every week. It's a culmination of the years of coaching that we've had at UWE in our program. We get a lot of support, and that support means that the coaches can coach. You know, they're not necessarily filling up water bottles, doing all the kind of operational stuff. They get time and headspace to think about the game, prepare for the game, and they do a fantastic job. So, you know, we're looking forward to the fixture today. We've put a lot of time and effort into it. And yeah, I'm really excited about it.
And speaking of today's fixture, obviously you've got Nottingham coming into Hillside Gardens, first time they've been here, but not the first time you've faced them.
No.
How does it feel opening up the season against such a strong opponent?
It's exciting, you know. I think there's 2 sides to every coin, and I think, you know, having the best game of the season to start the season hopefully sets us off on a high. Likewise with Nottingham, and we can maintain that for the rest of the season. Previously, you know, wins, opposition, it was kind of peaks and troughs, but this Nottingham game, yeah, it's an exciting one, and I'm glad it's the first game of the season.
And with it coming closer and closer to kickoff, what's your message to the players as they get ready for this big opener?
Just a slow build up to kickoff. You know, we've still got a lot of time until the game actually starts. A tradition that we have is we walk the field before every game. We do it early, you know, before the away team gets here, and it's just a chance to start thinking about the game. And that slow build up to kick off where they're poised to strike and start off the performance, you know, peaking when they need to peak.
Brilliant. Well, we won't take up too much more of your time. Thank you for joining us, and good luck in today's game, Coach Mayer.
Cheers, Craig.
Always great to hear from Coach Mayer, and some interesting talking points from him there. He's more than correct in saying that what happened in the past can stay in the past. This new National League presents new problems, new exciting opportunities for everyone involved.
Yeah, definitely. The Bullets, 3 times champions coming into this league, but now National League, everyone's going to be wanting that first National League championship, aren't they? Bullets, the Gold, Durham Saints, they all want to come away from this first year in the National League saying, we were the champions that first year. But I love the mentality here from the Bullets. We'll put the past to the past and let's just deal with this 8-game season we've got coming up.
Yeah, and speaking of the past and putting it to the side, one team that's popped up in their past many a time in the national final is today's opponents, Nottingham Gold. another exciting team, another team that expects excellence from the head coach all the way down to their rookie players. What do you have to say about the Nottingham Gold and what they've done to prepare for today?
I think Nottingham have been building for years and years now. You've looked at their recruitment. They've been targeting the UK undergraduates coming in to try and get these guys for 3 or 4 years, to try and hold them on for a PhD and get another 4 years out of them. And they've done a really good job of that. And you can see it throughout the roster. They have an enormous roster. Jason has told me they've got over 100 guys on the roster across their 2 teams. Can you imagine most university teams being able to support 100 guys every week? It's just an incredible job Nottingham have done building. But unfortunately, they've always just fallen short. They've never quite had the fairy tale season. 2 single score losses. You know, back in 2022 and 2023, they couldn't quite manage against the Bullets. Will it be their season this year?
Well, I'm sure every team's going to be asking that question. Will it be their year? And luckily, you got a chance to speak with head coach of Nottingham Gold, Jason Scott. So if we cut to him and we'll see what his thoughts are on today's game.
I'm here with Jason Scott, head coach of the University of Nottingham American Football team. Jason, a new season, the National League. How are you feeling about it?
Hey Simon, yeah, no, we're doing really well. We've had a really good pre-season, record numbers enrolled through the team with the green and the gold. Green's been promoted to Division 1 is a huge challenge, as well as balancing the issues of like National League, National Premier League. It's going to be a huge season, a hugely exciting season, and we're ready to go.
That sounds good to hear, Jason. Now, today's fixture, the UWE Bullets. You faced them twice in the past 3 years, 2 one-score losses. How are you feeling about today's game?
Yeah, good. Yeah, we're just going to come and compete. We're not going to worry about the scoreline too much. Just play each play on its merit, play by quarter, and let the chips fall where they lay. So, no, we're really hugely confident, we're optimistic. We've got a squad that can compete at the national level, and we'll just let the play on the field do the talking.
And speaking of a squad that can compete, you've got some young players coming in today, don't you? I've heard on the grapevine you've got 4 true freshmen starting on this squad today.
Absolutely, yeah. We're really hugely proud of how we recruit our UK undergraduates, and not just those guys, but also the second and third years who are coming through after 1-2 years in the green team. Just shows how we rotate and cycle talent through the programme. So, yeah, really excited about their opportunity. Fletcher Cornwall at linebacker is going to be a handful. I'm really excited to see him play. Dan Schofield at cornerback as well. So, yeah, excited about the youth of this programme.
And finally, any words for the team in those final minutes before the game?
No, that's between me and them. I'm just going to just focus on the next one wins mantra, and we'll be okay.
Well, thank you very much, Coach. Best of luck today.
Thanks, Simon.
Thank you for getting that interview, Simon. Some interesting words from Jason Scott there, head coach at Nottingham, and also some interesting words from Dan Mayer. Looks like the time for talk is over as we approach kickoff.
Yes, it is. The 2 teams are getting ready. We can see Nottingham just going through their final warm-ups. The Bullets are on the side of the field. And I've got to say, we've looked throughout these warm-ups, both teams look fired up for today's game, don't they? And we've made comments on this. Both the Nottingham team and the UWE team have been coming out hot in this warm-up. It's going to be interesting to see what goes on the first couple of plays, but I think the ferocity is going to be high.
Yeah, I mean, it's a hot day here at Hillside Gardens. It's a bright day, and by the end of play today, it'll be that little bit brighter for one of these 2 teams. With it being the start of the season, obviously we don't know what to expect, but both coaches happy with how they've prepared and ready for the kickoff.
Yeah, definitely both coaches have seemed happy with their pre-season. They've talked about how the team has developed. They've taken these guys from maybe the start of September, and they've really worked and put their plays in. But always with that first game of the season, are we going to see some false starts? Are we going to see some undisciplined play where they're not quite ready? Time will tell, but I think that could be a deciding factor in the game. I know Nottingham want to focus on efficiency here today, and that's something Jason Scott has spoken to me about over the course of this week. So, will penalties play a part today?
Well, penalties have played a part when these teams have played in the past. When it came to the 2022 final, I believe there was something like 39 penalties, 39 flags on the field. Hopefully we don't see something like that today, and we get to see these players play with a bit of fluidity rather than stop-start with all these flags going about the place.
Yeah, definitely, and we've seen the Bullets go into an up-tempo offence over the past couple of years, and those kind of penalties really hurt that kind of offence. So we'll see if the officials want to throw the flags today. We'll see how well the players play. But it's nice to see these 2 teams. You can just see there Nottingham finishing off their warm-ups. Both teams look good, and I'm really excited for this game today and really excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. It's set to be a fantastic first season of the National League, something that is long overdue for the BUCS American Football. And I think we've got the best two teams to set the tone for the rest of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I think since that first UWE final back in 2022, we've seen what this sport can be. That game was an instant classic. And there were almost... people were sending in it to Sports Centre top 10. They wanted those big, the kick return, all of the deep touchdowns. They wanted them on Sports Centre because they want to show what British University American football can do. And I'm expecting another barnstormer here today. We've got two of the best teams in the country. We've said it in the National League, but what can these two teams deliver?
Yeah, today is definitely a statement game, regardless of who comes out on top. You want to be showing what you're going to be doing for the rest of the season, what intensity you're going to bring on offense and defense, what discipline you're going to bring when things aren't going your way. Everything like that and more is going to be one hell of a season, and you're going to be able to catch more than just this game through BUCS this year. Isn't that right, Simon?
That's right. If you watch this game and you enjoy it, you can watch two more live-streamed regular season games. We have the Loughborough students travelling to the University of Nottingham on December the 7th. That will be broadcast from the David Ross Sports Village in Nottingham. And then finally, February the 8th, we're going to see Leeds Beckett Carnegie travel up north to the Durham Saints. So you will be able to see all 5 of the national teams in action at some point during the season. And what a great job BUCS have done, managing to schedule all 5 teams in as well.
Yeah, great job scheduling. Great job getting this together. It's been needed for a while. And you used the word traveling quite a lot there when describing who's going where, and traveling is going to be a key part of the year for these teams up and down the country, and every mile worth it if you come away with a W.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this could almost be a short game here for Nottingham. They've travelled 150 miles here down to Bristol. They're going to have to do nearly the same to go up to Durham, playing Leeds. Obviously, Nottingham versus Loughborough is going to be the closest game of the season, I think. But the Bullets are really going to have to get used to the travel here. They're the only team coming up from what was the old Premiership South. The other 4 teams are coming from the Premiership North, so they will have to factor in the travel. They are going to have long coach journeys, long coach journeys all the way to Durham. I have no idea how long that would take, but if you're the Bullets, I hope you get used to the inside of a coach.
Yeah, and speaking of the Bullets, we're just getting ready for them to make their way onto the field. As our referee's holding them back, we see speakers on the field. This is where tensions start to get high. This is where nerves start to build up. This is where you start to feel the energy that this game's going to bring. Are you going to come in nervous and make mistakes? Are you going to come in with adrenaline and make a big play?
Yeah, I think what will be interesting is those players that have played in this game before. For the University of Nottingham, you've got players like Finlay Old. I know for the UWE Bullets, you've got Jax Crawford. Both of these guys have played before, and it's how will they lead the team. I think a lot of it will be their demeanour as they come out onto the field. Are they looking nervous? Are they looking confident? Because the team will follow them. They are the oldest players on the team. They are the most experienced, but they're also the most looked up to, so you have to lead by example there.
Yeah, and obviously, as we get ready, it doesn't necessarily matter how your preparation has gone, what you think has gone on in your training, when thinking about Nottingham's training for UWE, when thinking about UWE's training for Nottingham. None of that matters as we get set to see the UWE Bullets enter Hillside Gardens, a place that's been a fortress for them since it opened up. Will Nottingham be the first team to come in here and get a win?
I think just while we wait for the Bullets to come out, one interesting point that we didn't touch on pre-game, was the Bullets defence and how many points they conceded last year. Do you want to tell the ladies and gentlemen at home just how many points the Bullets conceded?
That'll be a bagel, a goose egg, a 0 scratch. Not a single point conceded for an entire season.
Could you imagine as a Nottingham team coming in and thinking, this team hasn't been scored on in 12 months?
It's a big ask. But also, I got to speak to Coach T, the defensive coordinator for UWE, and, his message is clear. That's nice. That's nice to not concede a point, but this is a new season, and NFL teams score, college teams score. There's a 0 is a nice accolade, but that accolade is in the past. They are focused on today, and they are focused on this year.
Yeah, of course, these two teams didn't meet last year. Nottingham lost their quarterback with 1 regular season game to go and then couldn't beat the Durham Saints. They lost 24-10 to the Durham Saints in the semi-final last year. So we didn't get the pleasure of UON versus UWE 3
in the UWE Bowl final. I think everybody in the country has been looking forward to this game. The buzz online has been incredible looking at these two teams and trying to figure out what the two teams are going to do and who will come away victorious today.
I mean, that's the question that is on everybody's lips, everybody watching this live stream. Who will come out on top? Will UWE show some dominance from the get-go as they have in previous years? Will Nottingham travel all the way down to Bristol and get the upset? I don't know what's going to happen, but I am excited to see the play on the field.
Yeah, me too. I'm expecting fast-paced football as well. It wouldn't surprise me to see the Nottingham try and play it safe offensively to start the game. I think they're going to be focused on efficiency. They're going to want to go down the field and try and convert as many of these drives to touchdowns, at worst field goals. But defensively, I think Ben Davies is going to go back to the old Tamworth Phoenix and bring havoc. For those people that remember that acronym back in the day, he's going to bring pressure early and often, I think. What do you think the UWE Bullets are going to do here? What do you think their game plan will be?
You know, you bring up some good points about Ben Davies and the Notts defence, and going back to your interview with Jason Scott, a couple of defensive players that he's excited to see, so it sounds like that is going to be the message. We set the tone on defense, and that means it comes down to the UWE offense and how they react to that. Speaking to Frankie Pankhurst, the offensive coordinator for the UWE Bullets, it looks like they're going to be running the ball a bit more this season. Obviously, last year, having Jadrian quarterback, having a reigning ELF MVP at quarterback dictates that you're going to pass the ball a bit more, but without that presence in the locker room, without that presence on the field, I think they're going to go back to what they know best, and that's a strong running game behind a strong offensive line.
Yeah, the offensive line is big for the UWE Bullets. It's not an offensive line I would want to face as a defensive lineman, but you're talking about Jadrian Clark there. Look at the recruitment the Bullets are being able to pull in. Imagine the ELF reigning MVP and say, come to Bristol, come play football. What a great job the Bullets have done on recruitment there.
Yeah, they've done a fantastic job, and as of Nottingham, as of all the teams that are in this National League, they've all done a great job of recruiting, and Bristol does some of the recruiting itself, being such a fantastic city.
Yeah, it definitely does.
And we are seeing the Nottingham Gold make their way out onto the field, led by Quinn Williamson, wearing number 2 there. And everybody looking focused, everybody looking ready for today's game.
Just going to interject here, had a chat with Quinn pre-game, and I asked him, what does he most want out of today? And he said, a L'Oreal advert. Look at the hair on that man.
Listen, as someone with a lot of hair myself, I noticed those things, and he's earned it more than I have, and maybe a big game today, he'll get that. He'll get that endorsement. And then we see the players getting ready, lining up. And our captains walk into the center of the field to get ready for today's coin toss.
Gentlemen, welcome to today's game. My name's Ollie, I'm the referee for today. This is Kieran, he's the umpire. There are 8 of us on field today, so please come and see us if you have any problems. Speaking captains, take a step in for me. Here's the coin, that is tails, that is heads, and that is tails. As the away team today, you're going to get the call on the toss.
We want tails.
Tails called. It is heads, so Yui, what do you want to do?
Take it.
You want to hit the ball, which end do you want to kick from?
Kick from that end zone.
We're going to kick from that end zone, so you're facing this goal line, you're facing this goal line for me. No, come around this way. We've won the toss, and we'll take the ball in the first half.
And you heard it there from Ollie Maskell, our head referee today. UWE won the toss, and UWE want that ball. They want to be on offense. Maybe a tactic that some people aren't used to seeing. A lot of the times you'll see the winner of the coin toss defer to the second half. UWE have always wanted to get that ball and set the tone with their offense.
It's just the mentality of their team, isn't it? They want to go out and they want to be the team in the lead. UWE are not used to playing from behind, particularly with no points conceded last year. But it's always been the mentality of the Bullets, hasn't it? For many, many years since they came up to the Premier South. They always want to be in the lead. They always want to lead the game from the front. They don't want to say, yeah, we'll stop you on defence and then go out and score. If they want to go, and they'll go 7-0 up to start the game, that's what they'll go and do.
Yeah, and I'm sure they'll be hoping to do that again today as we get ready for this opening kickoff. A momentous opening kickoff, setting in a new era of BUCS American football. And is Luke Roberts, I believe, the kicker for Nottingham?
Luke Roberts, the kicker for Nottingham, yeah. A big loss. Kind of understated to say you've lost a kicker, but Danlo Schlehetko Blackburn lost to graduation there. And one of the things that he used to give Nottingham was range for field goals. He could kick field goals from 50 yards, probably north of a 50% clip. I wonder how big Luke Roberts' leg is and whether he'll be able to also do that, because it gave Nottingham such flexibility in that low red zone.
Yeah, Nottingham having a big kicker is the reason I've not parked my car behind the goalpost today.
I'm hoping the metal gate will keep mine safe.
Nottingham going for a little fake there, but we do see a flag. And we will hear from Ollie. A little quicker than expected.
There is an illegal procedure for simulating the free kick against Nottingham. That is a 5-yard penalty. It will still be the free kick.
Okay, so 5-yard penalty. After everything we said about penalties, hopefully not making an impact on this game. We get one before the first kickoff even happens.
I'm not sure I've ever heard of simulating the kick before. I didn't even know that was a penalty. But Jason Scott on the sideline does not look happy already. He came straight down to the side judge and questioned that call.
Yeah, obviously something that had been practiced, so to see that end up with a flag, bamboozling everybody. And this one gets away as intended. UWE with a reverse to start this game, making some good yardage down the sideline, still on his feet. Is the return man making it just past the halfway yard. And we're seeing some points for a turnover, but it's not looking like the ball was lost, so we will see UWE on offense with fantastic field position to start this game.
Yeah, UWE coming out with the reverse. It almost seemed to be popularised by Nottingham many years ago.
Personal foul, horse collar tackle, number 20 of the kicking team.
And a horse collar tackle.
Return. First down.
A horse collar tackle to add on even more yards. That'll be a 15-yard addition to this great return. Look at that, finding the gap, breaking the tackle, and just staying low, getting to the sideline, and yep, you see the horse collar there at the end. Getting him down with it, any means necessary, but giving up 15 yards in the process.
Not a good start for Nottingham, great start for the Bullets here.
Yeah, as we see UWE lining up for the first time today, and it will be a run, and bouncing to the outside, and making good yardage, number 30 for the Bullets. I believe that will be Josh Brees, who is the starting running back for the UWE Bullets.
Yeah, great run by Brees there. There was nothing up the inside. Bounces it to the outside for a good gain.
Yeah, and that's good instinct. From everything I've heard from the preseason, speaking with offensive coordinator Frankie Pankhurst, he's a north-south runner. He's going to take that contact rather than bounce. So he saw that, good vision, good gain. And this is another run to Brees, but great tackle. Coming down, making that his number 2. That is Quinn Williamson with the tackle, running downfield, really making his case to try and get some sponsorship for that here by the end of today.
Definitely. Garrett Pittman also in on the tackle there, captain for the Nottingham Gold. You see it here. The sweep comes outside to Brees. He's trying to get his offensive lineman to go, but with nowhere to go. And he gets chopped down by Pittman, the US scholar coming in here for Nottingham.
Yeah, a lot of Nottingham jerseys there, a lot of gold in on the tackle, and this makes he lost yards there, so that makes this third and long, third and about 7 for UWE here on this opening drive. With an empty backfield, going to the air, but QB keeper straight down the middle and just driving those legs. Enough for a first down, and that is Donovan Isn't, apologies if I've got that wrong, that last name wrong there, Donovan, but fantastic run from yourself as you get the first down for UWE.
Yeah, Ism's got that Cam Newton kind of physique about him, doesn't he? And I wondered pre-game, is he going to be a runner? Is he going to be a physical between the tackles runner? And it does look like he will be today.
Yeah, he's physical and gets the play in quickly to get set up this first down for UWE. As we see possibly a false start, possibly encroachment. Let's see what we hear from the referees. UWE looks to be stepping back, so it looks like this was a false start.
Offense, number 73. It's a 5-yard penalty and remains first down.
And then again, a penalty here on the first drive. One penalty apiece, or two penalties, 2-1. We're on third penalty on this first drive. Not what we wanted to see, and not what UWE wanted after a big run on third down.
No, it makes this a bit harder for them. 1st and 15 here.
As we see a motion going to Jax Crawford, who turns downfield, breaks the tackle, but straight into another one.
Great tackle there by Nottingham to bring Crawford down. He's such a dangerous person in open space, isn't he? We've seen it over the past couple of the years. Let's have a look here. Oh, UWE are running the jet sweep. They've run this for a couple of years now. Nottingham are flowing with it.
Yeah, just a great job of getting those eyes downfield and turning upfield as soon as he could and making the most of that. And that takes us to about 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. So about a 9-10 yard gain there on the play. And as we see the motion again, and this time it's a fake with a dive up the middle to Brees, but a great tackle, great open field tackle from number 3, Tyler Robbins on the defense.
Yeah, great tackle there. He was not fooled by the jet sweep. After a big game, UWE have been known to occasionally run that play a few times in a row and just see how many yards they can pick up before the defense twigs. Robbins there stayed stout and he tackled Brees in the backfield.
Yeah, and that brings up 3rd and a couple, and we're seeing a lead, QB lead, and looks like enough for a first down.
Yeah, good running by Ism again there as he manages to go all the way through for the first down. It's going to be so dangerous. Crawford to the edge, Brees to the edge, and then you've suddenly got Ism up the middle.
Yeah, it's a powerful 1-2-3 punch here at the moment for UWE on this first drive, and Nottingham doing enough to slow them down, but not enough to stop them. And now we have 1st and goal. UWE go into the air with a check down to Brees, who's got space, he's got the edge, and he's got a UWE touchdown.
The first true drop back pass of the day results in a touchdown for the Bullets. Ism to Brees. I wonder whether that will be a connection this year. Brees looks like he's going to be used a lot in the running game and is a nifty little receiver there.
Yeah, great job keeping his eye on the pass there. When we go back to the replay, you'll see he's had to spin his body around to catch that. Luckily, the play design and how UWE had driven at this Notts defense meant he had plenty of space, plenty of time to make the catch, and UWE will be going for 2. And then we're seeing a pitch play in for 2. And that is 8 for UWE on the opening drive.
And this is what UWE were probably expecting, isn't it? They wanted to go out. UWE, I do not remember the last time they kicked a PAT. They've always been a team, as long as I've known them, that went for 2. So it was unsurprising to see them line up in the 2-point conversion here. I think their mentality is if we get it more than 50% of the time, then we can score more points. As you see there, Ism to Brees. That was number 54, Eddie Semenov. He couldn't get out in coverage, and you see the celebration there. The Bullets will be happy with that opening drive.
Yeah, and I think that will settle some nerves for the UWE Bullets. Like I said, it's hard to know how these games are going to play. Nerves are going to come into it. I know for a fact that they've not had many practices as a team with players arriving late. And to get a touchdown just sets the tone, just calms some nerves down, and they go, hey, defense, we've done it. Now it's your turn.
Definitely. Let's see what the Nottingham return team will do. They are known for trickeration on their returns. So will we see something broken out early, down 8-0 after the first drive?
Yeah, and I think, again, going back, not one to live in the past, but Nottingham returning kicks against UWE is something we have seen in those finals. It is a key component of this Notts team, is this third phase, the special teams. Let's see what they've got today, as UWE look a little bit confused over who should be out there. And this is what I mean by the lack of practice. You'll see it in these situations. Oh, and the ball's being fumbled around. It has been picked up, but he has got some space. He could get to the edge here, cutting it back inside, but good tackle around the 34-yard line on that return.
Yeah, that was Mbenetho on the return there. He's played receiver. He played a bit of quarterback last year when the Nottingham quarterback went down, and now you see him as a returner. The ball was kicked a bit short, just leaving it in front of the returners. I wonder whether that's a deliberate decision. Try and keep it out of their hands. Don't let Nottingham run those little switch plays they like to run.
Well, I think it will be obvious to anyone that's watched a UWE game in the past, and if not, if this is your first time, welcome, hello, and you will see that UWE do not field that well with kickers. So as we see a swing pass from Nottingham to start this drive, good yards gain, and that will be a first down. Nottingham.
Yeah, that's Cadwallader, the quarterback, coming in from Dartmouth with the swing screen out to the sideline. Is it a first down?
No, it looks like second,
Yeah, they've marked him just short. It looked like a first down. We're basically on the sticks from our commentary booth.
Yeah.
And we both thought that was a first down.
Yeah, second down. Listen, if they get that kind of result from this next play, they won't be too fussed at not getting the first on that one.
Watch for the shot play here, second and short.
Yeah, we're seeing the run by the Notts players, but straight up the middle. Sorry, just keeping an eye on the afters there, making sure we're not seeing anything too egregious, but great drive from the UWE front, that defensive front, some big bodies, and then that was number 55 on the tackle for UWE. Straight up the middle, and that run play had no chance to develop. That was Daniel Thomas with the tackle. And just like that, third down and about 6, going to the air, making the grab for the first down.
That looks like Mbenefo, number 4 there, making the grab for the first down.
Yeah, it looked like some good coverage from UWE. He wasn't able to make any yards after getting that, but safe hands, good drive from the quarterback to get the ball where it needed to be as quick as you can. Look at that, time to catch the ball, to release. Absolutely what you want in those situations.
Yeah, definitely. We talked pre-game about Nottingham playing the underneath, playing the flats and efficiency, and it looked like it here.
As we see the new set of downs, first and 10. Going to the air again is Nottingham. And a big hit. The ball has come out, but looks like he's being blown dead after a gain of about 3 or 4 yards on the swing pass. So, you know, this opening drive, it's looking like Nottingham looking to go to the air, but looking to get that ball out quickly.
Yes, I think so. Their offensive line is young or inexperienced. It's probably the weakest part of this team today. I know they're starting 2 people that have never played a get down of American football before. And they've also got Elvis Webster stepping in at right tackle, traditionally a defensive tackle, defensive end hybrid, but he stepped in at right tackle today.
Yeah, and just going back to that play, that was very close to being a fumble. Big hit from UWE there, dislodging that ball. Something to keep an eye on. They will be ball hawks. They will be hungry. And again, you see it there, the tackler keeping hold of his man, but also just trying to get those arms to rip that ball out.
Yeah, it looks like Bonicato on the reception there, number 87. Not the tallest receiver, but plays well out of the slot. He's done well there. And we've seen a lot of these short hitch routes. Now, OC Alec Glenn is known for trying to just get a team to run into some tendencies, run the little hitch routes, and then just see if you can get a hitch and go down the sideline. So that's something to keep an eye on going forwards.
Yeah, and something that could come here if they start to see that discipline lacking from the UWE defense. They might want to run a hitch and go. You know, a little double move here and there. They will be going to the air unless it's a quarterback keeper here. And we are hearing some whistles. And we will find out what that's for.
Maybe a delay of game. They did take their time.
Delay of game. On the offence, that's a 5-yard penalty, and it remains third down.
And just like that, the playbook closes up a little bit for Nottingham on what to do here on that third down. Third and short, you got the whole playbook available to you. Third and long, third and 7, third and 8. Let's see what they do.
I still expect them to go to the air again here, maybe throw it at the sticks and just hope they can fall forward for that extra yard.
Yeah, as we see 4 wide for Nottingham here, 1 man in the backfield. And it will be a pass. Looking deep. And just out of the reach at number 87 for Nottingham.
Yeah, off the hand of Bonicato there. It's going to be 4th down, and it looks like the punt unit will come on for Nottingham. Jason Scott is one of the most aggressive head coaches in university football, but he's not going to be that aggressive today. Although I think a promising opening drive there for Nottingham. That delay of game, I think, just cost them, and Cadwallader was not happy with the official. He turned round and he was asking, where was my 10-second call?
Yeah, something for him to keep an eye on throughout the game. Maybe get the plays off a little bit quicker if he can. Obviously, losing yards is never what you want, but I agree with you. A positive drive, a positive first series for Nottingham. As we see the punt, bit high, but it is blocked! The play is blocked and recovered for fantastic field position for UWE. That was Noah Clark with the block, coming off the edge like a rifle. And the high snap from Nottingham, just that extra split second in the air gave him all the time he needed. As we see him come off the edge here, look at that, just quick, gets those arms up, big bodies it. And the ball is recovered. And UWE set up with fantastic field position for this second drive.
Long snapping is an art that does not translate to UK American football very well, and it has cost Nottingham there.
And again, do you think that's some of the growing pains Nottingham have for their offensive line at the moment as well?
Yeah, quite possibly.
As we see a bounce to the outside, still on his feet. Here's Breeze, but eventually going down, losing a helmet in the process. And maybe 1 or 2 yards as well.
Yeah, Brees is going to have to go to the sideline. If your helmet comes off, you have to take a play off on the sideline. It's a health and safety thing. So the Bullets are going to be without Brees for the next play here.
Yeah, and we'll get to see if they're willing to open up the playbook a little bit more. Obviously, we're used to seeing a dive from the quarterback in this situation as their alternate run play, a sweep from Jax Crawford. We are seeing an empty backfield for the second down. And Donovan just getting everything together. Ball snapped to him. Ball straight out. And look at the yards gained. Nobody in front of him. He's going to keep going. He's still on his feet. And that is a huge gain. Number 85 for the UWE Bullets with the screen and taking it down.
Looks like Tim Lucas there on the reception, but the unsung hero of that play is going to be number 83. That's Darian Conrad. He put a great block on the outside. Yeah, look at that block. Great block there to spring the receiver free, and he's down the sideline for a big play. UWE already setting up in the red zone.
Yeah, and I think some of this comes down to momentum. Some of this comes down to, hey, defense, thank you for the stop. Hey, special teams, thank you for the great field position. We'll make you proud, and we'll go down there as quickly as we can and put up more points. Bit of a fumble on the snap from Donovan, but he is making his way to the outside, still on his feet after dropping a shoulder. And maybe making a yard or two, but you're right, there is some laundry on the field.
Down in the backfield, I wonder whether this could be offensive holding with how the play went. You're not expecting the quarterback to scramble out, and then suddenly you're holding the defensive lineman.
Holding. Offense, number 73. 10 yards from the previous spot, and repeat, first down.
And holding is just such a huge penalty. You heard it there, 10 yards. And when it's first and goal, and now you've got a 10-yard penalty on top of that, it just makes the field look that much bigger.
Particularly with a busted play as well. It looked like Ism, that wasn't the design play call. But now, 1st and 20, as you say, you've been kicked out the red zone. But you've still got a long way to go to move those chains. What will Ism and the Bullets do?
As they line up for 1st and 20, going to the air. Plenty of time in the pocket. Finds his man downfield. Was that a grab? Did he get low enough? It looks like the refs are marking that as a catch.
Yeah, it definitely looked like a catch to me. That was a great reception pulled in there by the receiver. How was he so wide open? Could you imagine if he'd managed to stay on his feet for that one? He was clean to the end zone. Nottingham looked like they played a cover 2 and completely vacated.
As Ism gets ready to receive this ball, going to be a dive to Brees down the middle. Big pile of bodies and probably making a good couple of yards there on that second down. And getting closer and closer to that goal line. One thing that we've seen in previous years with the UWE Bullets is that offensive line has been so cohesive, so dominant. The game within a game that goes on in the trenches, UWE have looked like they've had gains that have gone for no yards, but it's been a 5-6 yard gain because that offensive line just gets such a good drive. And they're looking to continue that this year. As we see another dive down the middle. Number 31 this time, in for the touchdown. That is Abel Mpaka with the touchdown. And that brings the score to UWE 14, Nottingham 0.
Nottingham seemingly not able to hold the Bullets out in the red zone. This is something that is going to have to change, and at speed, if Nottingham want to stay in this game. We've obviously only seen one Nottingham offensive drive. It was a good offensive drive, but no points. But this is what we expect to see from the Bullets, scoring almost every drive and going for 2 again here. Brees back in the backfield with Ism.
Yeah, we expect to see UWE go for 2 every time. Again, anybody that's had the pleasure of watching UWE over the last few years know that they go for 2 every time, and unfortunately unable to connect on that play, leaving the score at 14-0.
Yeah, that was Tim Lucas trying to run the fade there.
We do see a flag on the field.
Let's see what this flag is.
The next man downfield. Offense number 18. This penalty is declined and the try is no good.
Yeah, obviously not accepting the penalty there. And thank you to Ollie Maskell for the message of what that flag was on. And today, you might have heard it earlier, we've got an 8-man crew for the referees today, which is great to see. Referee Ollie Maskell is joined by umpire Kieran Smith, head linesman Ben Griffiths, line judge Stuart Taberer, back judge James Ford Bannister, field judge Evan Patterson, side judge Henry Young, and centre judge Pete Parsons. Thank you to all for helping make this game possible.
An 8-man crew is also very uncommon for university football. You might get 4 or 5, but now with the National League, it's nice to see to get a full complement crew here down in Bristol.
Yeah, that might not be common for football, but what is common in Bristol is a Thatcher's hot air balloon hovering over the field. It doesn't get much more Bristolian than this.
I'd noticed it come across the hill line and I was wondering if it was going to get mentioned.
I really wanted it to go in front of the sun so I can put my hand down.
It is very bright here in Bristol for what was supposed to be a gloomy day.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take the sunshine any day, even if we're struggling to see a little bit. But UWE getting ready for their next kickoff. And a very short kick this time. Fumbling around on the ground, but again, making some yards from it is number 2 again, Quinn Williamson.
Quinn Williamson doing his best Dan Connolly impression there. He doesn't quite take it the same distance, but seeing a defensive lineman have to pick the football up on a kick return. There was definitely a bit of panic there among the Nottingham players. Eddie Semenov, it just dropped over his head and he wasn't quite sure what to do. But fortunately, Williamson was there to quickly pick that ball up, and he's managed to gain probably 10 or 15 yards there.
Yeah, I mean, this is great field position for Notts, and if you're Notts, this is where you were punting from on their last series. So this offense getting to start from where they finished the last drive. And they'll be going to the air on this 1st and 10, looking deep. They do have a man, but unfortunately the ball is overthrown to number 13. That is Finley Old on the route.
Finn Old, the GB tight end, recently described as a big body boy by some Swedish commentators when he went over to play Sweden. He is an elite tight end, a big run blocker, basically acts as their 6th offensive lineman. He can also run seams straight down like that. And just overthrown by Cadwallader. Couldn't quite make the connection there, but Finn Old was open to the end zone had he made it.
Yeah, I think between him and Tim Lucas for the UWE Bullets, we're going to see a lot of tight end play today as we set up for this 2nd and 10 for Nottingham. And this will be a quick pass to the air. Good hands, good grab, immediate tackle from UWE, but again, good 3-4 yard gain there.
And Benefo with his 2nd or 3rd reception on the day there. Nottingham just staying with these hitch routes, but they've shown the ability to try and take the top off. Bonicato, it came off his hand down the right sideline. Just missed it. Finley Old there, slightly overthrown. Cadwallader obviously just getting in sync with his receivers.
Yeah, and we're seeing this quickly, and you brought it up earlier. I wonder if Notts have gone to the double move, the downfield off of these hitches, just a bit too quickly, because UWE are now going to be a bit more disciplined as we enter this 3rd down in about 7. Going to the air again. This time, the pass is incomplete. Good coverage from UWE there, right in the pocket. Able to get the hand up and knock that ball away.
Yeah, and Benefo the target again there. It looks like Cadwallader and Benefo is going to be a big factor today. And Nottingham back out to punt. Can Luke Roberts get this ball off? Can the long snapper get it there with a little bit more speed? It is time to find out.
Yeah, and as you'll see with our clock on the screen changing a little bit, just to remind you, our clock isn't official. It's not what the officials will be working with. We keep it as close as we can. But we are a little bit off, so I'm sure the refs will let us know when we get to the end of the quarter. Although one time they didn't, but that's a story for another time. As we see whistles on the whistles on the field. Another delay of game.
Delay of game.
Yeah.
On the offense, it's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Yeah, another delay of game. Again, speaking with the referee is the player that, is in charge of that penalty happening. So maybe just making sure the communication between the referees and the players is as crisp as the referees are expecting and the Notts players are expecting.
Yeah, from here, 5 yards doesn't make much difference while punting. Maybe just opens it up for Roberts a bit more.
Yeah, and we're seeing space again, but this time a better snap, better punt. And we're seeing the UWE player just get everybody away.
Yeah, that's Dan Schofield, true freshman, falling on the ball there for Nottingham.
Yeah, and a player that Jason Scott said to look out for, so good to see him getting in there on special teams as well as on defense.
That is the end of the 1st quarter.
And just like that, the 1st quarter is over. The Bullets are leading 14-0 at conclusion of the 1st, and they will start with the ball in the 2nd quarter as well.
Yeah, that punt happening at a good time for UWE. Clock stops, give them a chance to think about what they want to do on this drive, what they want to do on this possession. I was speaking with offensive coordinator Frankie Pankhurst, and I know he's got some plays scripted, so we'll see what's next on the list.
Yeah, it's been great play by the Bullets here. Nottingham do not look out of it, but they've been not quite the better team here.
Yeah, and as we wait for the start of the 2nd quarter, we're just going to go through some of the touchdowns here. Great pass, great play between the quarterback and running back there for UWE and the first score. And obviously following it up with 2 points. Look at that pitch, nice and quick, straight downfield, and there you go, 2 points. And my favorite play in all of football, the punt block. Getting off the edge, nice and quick, big body, and turnover right there with great field position. And again, we see the 2nd touchdown from UWE, bouncing around the place, getting into the end zone and in for 6. And 2nd quarter is ready to go. Good outside run from UWE, making it for a 1st down and a little bit more.
UWE moving the chains on their opening play. Was that Jax Crawford again? Jax Crawford again on the sweep. He's such a difficult player to game plan for, though, isn't he? Because he can run those sweeps, but he can also absolutely burn your corners down the side of the field.
Yeah, he's got great hands as well. He's a very good utility player, and he's made his presence known at UWE. This his 4th year with the team, and he's just as vital today as he was on that first session. As UWE looking to go for the quick swing pass here. Good blocks downfield as we see some bouncing around, and that will bring it for a gain of about 8.
Again, Crawford with great blocking there. He's not just the receiving threat. He will get his hands dirty in the run game. And that's what you really want to see from these outside receivers. Often they walk up, they'll take the play off, or they just won't be quite as good at blocking. But Crawford there really getting his hands dirty. And the Bullets are starting to move the ball almost at will here on Nottingham.
Yeah, and you can see the confidence in Josh Brees to run behind Jax Crawford as well, knowing that block's going to be made. That cohesion is only going to grow and grow as this season continues, as we see second down.
Nottingham with heavy pressure shown here.
And we're seeing the QB keeper on the RPO. And the QB making his way. Ism getting to the sideline for the first down.
That was something that was talked about pre-game. Nottingham showing pressure. They dropped out of it, and it was maybe the wrong thing to do there. You can see it here. Ism looks like he was going to hand it off to Brees, but then pulls it himself. There's nothing that those defenders can do while he's getting towards the sideline.
Yeah, I will say a little bit of lack of discipline there from, I think it was number 97 for Nottingham. Just coming inside, driving inside, leaving that outside open for the option. The quarterback will be reading that D end, and seeing him go right into a couple of blocks just made Donovan's decision so much easier on that play. Going to the air, great protection for Donovan there. The deep downfield and just out of reach for number 19. That was Jason O'Neill-Riley. Jason O'Neill-Riley, I believe. But just out of reach. And I believe a timeout has been called.
Timeout. Called by UWE at 10:05 remaining in the second quarter. That is their first timeout of the half.
And that was a timeout called by UWE.
Interesting place to call a timeout. I think we were both looking, trying to work out which team had called the timeout. After a deep incompletion here about midfield, you wouldn't expect either team, I would think, to call a timeout. But it looks like the Bullets want to regroup. Maybe they saw something on that last play and they want to go for a quick install.
Yeah, it could be something like that. Maybe settle the nerves. We've seen some deep passes from both teams just go through the hands. And maybe it's just, hey, guys, relax. The short stuff's there. The long stuff's there too. We need to make everything click.
Yeah, you just saw it on that replay there. If he hits that in stride, there's that chance that goes to the end zone. The corner was in trail but was not catching up.
Yeah, and I am seeing Coach Dan Mayer just having some words with the referees and officials there. So maybe they called a timeout just to have a discussion about something he's seen. As we see UWE line up for this 2nd and 10. Knots look like they're bringing the pressure, coming right up the middle. And it's a quick pass and a even quicker tackle. Great hit there.
Yeah, it looks like Pittman coming down from his safety position to make that tackle.
I'll let you be the one to call him Hitman after that one. That was absolutely drilled. Now brings up 3rd down and about 7. Going to the air again as UWE cutting back across to this mid-screen. Lots of space, tons of space. And a good shoestring tackle.
But there's Laundry on the field. I wonder if this is coming back for a holding. What a play design that was there by the UWE Bullets. A fake swing outright, throw back left to the tight end delay screen. But will this Laundry bring it back? Will it be a holding on the offensive lineman or a legal man downfield?
Yeah, you can see it being one of the other. Knots maybe getting lucky if this is only a penalty on UWE with a bit of a late hit at the end there. But they can only play to what's thrown on the field. So if we see the penalty for a holding, a legal man downfield, we'll see how UWE respond.
Ineligible man downfield.
Yep.
Offense number 65. 5 yards from the previous spot. Repeat, 3rd down.
And just like that, big play wiped out. And that was a Lucas, I believe, with the catch.
It was. For people at home who aren't used to these penalties,
yeah, like they're way downfield.
if you throw a pass, the offensive lineman cannot be more than 1 or 2 yards down the field. Now on a screen, you want to get those offensive linemen out in front to block. And I think the delay on that screen, the offensive lineman didn't hold long enough. They didn't quite count seconds off enough in their head. And that is why the flag was thrown.
Yeah, and this is 3rd and very long for UWE. 3rd and about 13 at the midfield. Going to the screen game again. More people not blocked up, and a great tackle by Nottingham. Great open field tackle there, getting the shoestrings, getting the man down. And this will be interesting. UWE, we haven't had to see it yet, but they are a team that will go for it on 4th down, no questions asked. But this might be a little bit too long, even for them. You mentioned Jason Scott being an aggressive head coach. I think he's only outmatched by Daniel Mayer.
I said one of the most aggressive head coaches, knowing that Dan Mayer was on the other sideline.
Yep, and we're seeing the QB out still. We're seeing the offense out still. So this is a big 4th down at the midfield. Man's free, getting a QB down. That's the last thing UWE wanted to do. Take a big sack.
Tyler Robbins comes off the edge and beats the right tackle. He is straight through, and Ism has gone down. Is that going to be a momentum change here? Because you could hear the Nottingham sideline through our microphones, and the noise was incredible from all the players on the sideline. Look at this, straight round the right tackle, strength to power, and he goes straight through. Ism tries to slip out, and he's just got hold of the ankles, and you can see what it means to that defensive line. There's been very little pressure today here from the Nottingham defensive line, and Robbins has really stepped up at a crucial point here. Nottingham are taking over at the plus 41 yard line by the looks of it.
Yeah, an extra 9 yards gained on that sack. And more importantly, maybe the starting QB for the UWE Bullets. Well, we'll see if he comes out for this next drive as Nottingham make their way out with great field position. And again, nice quick pass, good hands.
I think that's the first time we've seen Silas Starr, the receiver there, getting involved in the play.
Yeah, and these UWE cornerbacks, they're doing a great job of being on the hip of these Nottingham receivers, these Nottingham pass catchers, not being able to get much yards after the catch. But hey, if you want to keep making 5 yards a down, I'm sure Nottingham will take that.
For anyone who's watched enough university football over the previous years, it almost feels like the old Leeds Beckett, but they're doing it through the air rather than on the ground. See if you can get 4 or 5 yards every play, and the chains will just move themselves.
Absolutely. 4 yards in a cloud of dust as we see a motion from Notts going to the air once again, looking deep downfield and incomplete.
Yeah, Bonicato there was the intended receiver. They've targeted him deep a couple of times, but Robbie Kendall played really well, played in the hip pocket of Bonicato there, and then managed to break that up as he turned around for the back shoulder fade.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. UWE doing a great job of sticking to the receiver, sticking to the pass catcher, and it's really, wow. I mean, it's the best they can do because these passes, these are so accurate, and these catches are clutch.
It's what you want to see from Cadwallader. These passes are being accurate. He's not quite connected on that deep pass yet, though, has he?
No, and we've seen that from both teams as we see this. 3rd down for Nottingham, going to the air once again, looking deep once again, and what a grab!
It's the connection to Silas Starr there. What a pickup there, and you can see what it means to the Nottingham sideline. Nottingham are going to move those chains, and they are going to be in touching distance of the red zone.
Yeah, you see Silas knock the ball to himself in the air to make that grab. Full extension, very athletic play from the young man as he moves the chains and moves Nottingham deeper into UWE territory.
That was an incredible play there. Cadwallader to Starr. We've talked about Cadwallader to Benfo, Cadwallader to Old, Cadwallader to Starr is now being called.
Yeah, he's really spreading that ball out, and if I'm Notts, I'm going to the air again, and they're just going to swing past this here. But can we see some good open field tackling from UWE? We do.
Yeah, interesting one there. Nottingham pulled the right guard and then threw against it. I wonder whether Nottingham have started installing some of these pass protections where you pull the guard but still run the play action pass. That is some high level concepts here from Nottingham if they have installed that, and if the right guard didn't just accidentally pull. It is the first game of the season. We cannot count that out just yet that he thought it could be a power play. But Omar Noah, the GB under-19 running back, doing well in the open field.
Yeah, and Leon Klozovic with the tackle. Great open field tackle, given this 2nd and 13 for Nottingham. Going to the air once again. Not there, but under pressure, under duress. Still looking to the air as he just throws this out of bounds. That's all he could do. Feeling the pressure there from number 15, Bradley Johnson.
Bradley Johnson just blew up Garner Benyon in the backfield. But if you look at the size difference, can you blame him? Garner Benyon did what he could there, but number 15, yeah, just came straight through, did Johnson. And Cadwallader did well to escape to his left and then just smartly threw that out of bounds. We are 3rd and long here. This is fringe.
That's not a man you want your running back trying to block.
Definitely not. This is fringe field goal territory here for Nottingham. It depends on Roberts' leg and how good the action is. So it'll be interesting to see what happens after this play.
Yeah, we expect Nottingham to go to the air here, but that's been where their success has lied. Can they make the 13, 15 yards? They can. And still on the feet. He's dropped the ball. The ball is down.
Finley Old, the ball came out. It's time to see which way the officials give it.
And
there is
UWE
a
seem
scrap.
happy. UWE are down with the ball, and that is a turnover. A crucial turnover by this UWE defense. Finley Old getting the praise earlier and unfortunately unable to hold on to the ball.
Fumbled and recovered by the defense. First down, UWE.
That's heartbreaking there. Finley Old has got such sure hands. Came across on the little square in. We can see it here. He is slot to the top of your screen as Cadwallader drops back. He has just dropped off your screen. And there he is. He comes in. He's never quite got the ball in his possession. And it goes on the floor. You could almost see that getting called as a non-catch because he never quite had it. But the officials call it a reception, and then it is a turnover. Ism's got a long way to go here, but if any team can do it, it's the Bullets.
Yeah, and I think more importantly, it's great to see Ism back on the field after gingerly getting off the field on their UWE's last drive. And not only on the field, using his legs to gain some space.
Yeah, Q sweep there. It looks like a gain of a yard, but when you are backed up, nobody wants to try and drop back pass and go out the back of your own end zone.
No, it happens at all levels, and you don't feel great when you make little mistakes like that.
I think it's a big confidence to see Ism is okay to say, yeah, I can take the Q sweep immediately rather than handing that off to, say, Brees.
Absolutely. We're not seeing him hobbling. We're not seeing him rely on his other players, just immediately going in, dropping a shoulder and saying, do you want some? As we see him go to the air, but the ball dropped by Jax Crawford. The usual sure hands, unable to hold on there. On a crucial second down.
I had to double take. I couldn't believe that was Jax Crawford putting the ball down. I had to look back up and check, come off the monitor and check real life and make sure that was Jax Crawford. But he's put that down. It's going to be 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 here for the Bullets. I can't quite see the chains. It's a long way for Ism to go, but will he drop back pass here?
Yeah, I think if we see UWE make this even 3, 4, 5 yards, they will go for it on 4th down. Ball tipped.
Quinn Williamson with the pass deflection. You rarely see it from a defensive tackle. He stunted outside and then just manages to get that mitt up and tip the ball. Brees had so much open space there. Number 30 was the open receiver. As we see it here, you've got Fernandez, 97, stunt in. Williamson come out and he just gets the hand up in time. Brees, look at the space he had. He probably had about 10 yards before McGeechee was going to come down from his corner position.
Yeah, he was making a first down and then some. We are seeing UWE back out with the QB there on 4th down on their own 3 or 4 yard line.
Ism going for the hard count here. UWE have done this in the past.
And we are seeing the QB punt.
I think Nottingham would have wanted this back rather than the penalty because Pittman had wheeled back, picked it up on the 35 yard line and was set to return that to almost the red zone. Time to see what the penalty is. But it does look like UWE are going to bring out a punt team.
I didn't even know they had a punt team, Simon.
Full start. Offense, number 63. That's enforcement is half the distance to the goal. Remains 4th down.
That's you and me, Craig, both. I don't think either of us knew they had a punt team. But the problem is, you're now punting in the most dangerous place to punt. Because if this goes wrong, it's at least 2 points being given up, if not 6. So this is now big pressure on the Bullets here. Are Nottingham going to go big with their punt block unit?
God, I hope so. Like I said, punt block, best play in all of football. And UWE maybe not well versed in this area of the game, but he does get the kickoff. It is high. There will be good field position for Nottingham, especially with that bounce.
It's very short. That's probably only you can see the chains in the back of your shot. That's probably only a net gain of about 20 yards on the punt there. The Nottingham defense, what a job they did on that drive. And they come off elated. But now you can see the offense. It just gives them that extra boost. And we both know this from playing. When the defense makes a big stop and then comes off, the offense just feels so much better.
Well, especially after the big mistake from the offense, right? We saw the ball hit the floor and UWE recover. Not great field position for UWE, and Notts defence knew that they could get the ball back for their offence and get them in scoring distance immediately. As you see a run here, but swallowed up immediately.
I'm trying to have a look there if that's Gabenia. It's it. No, number 26, that's Omanua. Nottingham have got 3 GB under-19 running backs here. And you can just see it there, straight through the defensive line. We talked earlier, the offensive line. Got 2 true freshmen starting in, I believe, both at guards. And you can see it there.
Yeah, it's all well good and having all that, you know, power and caliber at the running back position, but you need a line to be able to run behind them. And they'll grow as the season grows, as we see another run play, some space to the outside, having to cut back in.
Nice by Omanura though. He's just bent that to the outside. He's then gone for the one cut to try and bring it back in. That's going to bring Nottingham to about 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 here. Just depends on the spot of the ball. Nottingham, whilst it's not many yards, they look comfortable.
Yeah, and it's like I was saying to you earlier about runs not looking long, but that was a 3-yard gain. And that's because the offensive line managed to get a great drive there. It looks like maybe big player bust for this offensive line as they are new to the sport, new to the team, and the talent's obviously there. As we see this 3rd down. Assignments being called out. 10 going to the air, but batted down immediately. Number 55 getting those big paws up.
We're just searching for the number. That's Thomas there.
Yeah, Thomas again. Big play, a name we've said a few times here, and you probably heard it just as well as we did. Nottingham setting up for the field goal, looking to get some points on the board.
So time to see if the change from Schlehetko Blackburn to Roberts is going to affect this field goal. We saw last year Schlehetko Blackburn got named the MVP of a game as a kicker when he kicked 3 field goals in a 9-8 victory over Leeds Beckett. What can Roberts do here?
Snaps down, kick is up, kick is wide. And that is no good on this kick. We are seeing a UWE player down, unfortunately. Looks to be sore, looks to be in pain.
Yeah, it looks like a timeout's being called for him. But let's talk about that Nottingham drive. 3 plays, couldn't quite make the distance, and then the field goal missed. UWE are going to be taking over with relatively good field position here, but Nottingham have got to think that that is a chance squandered. It is not an easy field goal. People see 50-yard field goals drilled in the NFL all the time, and those guys have so long to practice it. Here, teams 2 practices a week, and they're also installing offense and defense. Now, it's always a tricky one with field goals, and it's a difficult execution to go long snap to hold to kick.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go wrong there, especially if you're not used to, you know, getting that play off or anything like that. But I know UWE will obviously be happy not to concede there. The defense will be buzzing with how they played, and you know, after that field position that was given, to give up 0, I'm sure they would have been happy giving up 3, but to give up 0, this momentum is going back and forth as we see UWE's offense back on the field with a run play, bouncing to the outside, cutting back up is Baris, I believe. Oh, and that is dangerous. That is dangerous.
That's Pittman coming down for maybe his 4th or 5th tackle of the game from the safety position. You don't want your safety making that many tackles in the game. Typically, you'd want that to be going to your linebackers. He's a relatively young linebacking core here with Fletcher Cornwall, but you can see it here. Nice play design by the Bullets. Fake the jet, give the sweep back to the far side. That looks like Tyler Robbins couldn't quite make it, and then there is Pittman there, number 24. 34 coming in as well. That's
Timeout.
Jack Redhead.
Ball by UWE at 3 minutes and 4 seconds. That is their 2nd timeout of the half.
Sorry for the sound effects, everybody, but whenever I see something that could lead to an injury, it does make me wince a little bit. That was close when the bodies pile up there. But you're right, Pittman, he might not have been able to get the tackle, but he did enough to cause that bounce to the outside. And yes, you might not want your safety making all these tackles, but the fact that he is flowing down and helping this much in the run game is a good sign for Nottingham.
Yeah, Pittman is doing well. He is the safety out of Riverside, California, coming down and making the tackles, and UWE taking their 2nd timeout of the half. We are still ahead of the 2-minute warning. And an interesting question here is, do UWE try and hold the ball long enough that Nottingham will not have a chance to possess it, or have a chance to possess it with any more than about 15 seconds to go in the half?
You know, I would love to give you a nuanced answer about the pros and cons of doing such a thing. However, knowing UWE Bullets, there's a quick answer to that, and it is no.
Definitely no.
They will play fast. They always play fast. It's one of their strengths, and they're not going to deviate from that just because of a tight game that's been a defensive battle for the last 10 minutes. They're going to trust their offense, trust their process, and look to score quickly.
I was hoping for a nuanced answer, but I knew the answer was probably going to be no, knowing the Bullets.
I had to give you a little bit more than just a no, but we are seeing Coach Dan Mayer speaking with the referees, speaking with the officials still. So this is what we saw in the last time out. I don't know if he's just seen something that's not being called. And yeah, it looks like maybe he's just looking to get an answer for the blocking after the whistle that's occurred on the last couple of plays. And, you know, just some aggression. That with player safety is paramount in these games. So when you notice something, you want to make sure it's being watched so we don't get any serious injuries or any minor injuries while we're at it. As we see UWE line up here on second down, going to the air, quick pass to Patrick. Looks like it was caught, and the referee's confirming that.
Yeah, Frank Godfrey not having to do much there. Looked like sprint out flood from the Bullets, as we see the Bullets going into an up tempo here. Almost a no huddle with Ism directing traffic.
Shock horror. One thing I want to see from Ism is some higher passes. All the passes that have been caught have been very low, and the ones that have been dropped have been very low as well. As we see a sweep, looking to get to the outside. Good discipline from the Notts players to not let him cut up at any point. And we're seeing a flag coming in late. That went really high. You might not see the flag land for another couple minutes. The ref threw that to the sky. Let's find out what that's for. As we see a UWE player down, hopefully not injured.
We're trying to look at the location of the flag here and figure out what this could be. It's not in the offensive backfield.
No, it came during the tackle. At the tackle, it's around that. We're seeing the.
It's always tough to tell with those, particularly from the broadcast view. There's just a mangle of bodies, but the officials obviously have a look from the other side as well.
Yeah, I'm seeing Frankie Pankhurst, the offensive coordinator for UWE, very animated. Obviously, the safety of his players is paramount, and if he's just seen something that's been caused some injury, he's not going to be happy, and that would explain the animation on the sideline from this team. Head coach Dan Mayer having a word as well, and we're still to hear from Ollie Maskell, our head referee. Just some discussions here on what's being called and maybe what appropriate actions are going to be taken after this play.
There's a lot of discussions here for the flag, and it's never good when there's a lot of discussions for a flag unless it's questionable defensive pass interference, but we know it isn't that.
I think it could be because of the hit, maybe targeting.
Oh, if it's a discussion of targeting and whether there's ejection coming, that would be interesting. I will be interested to hear what Ollie Maskell comes out with, but it does seem like he's consulted the entire officiating crew here.
Yeah, this is just speculation on our part, but just because of the length of the discussions, this isn't just a holding call or anything like that. They're hearing some holding, potentially. Again, just what we're hearing, what we're picking up over the mics that are on the field. But it looks like Ollie's ready to deliver.
There are 2 fouls on the play, and both are against the University of West England.
Oh.
We have a holding during the play against offence number 63. This penalty is declined. And then after the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct against the UWE head coach. That penalty is enforced. It is half the distance to the goal. The next play will be 4th down. That is the head coach's first unsportsmanlike towards disqualification.
And a flag being accepted against Coach Dan Mayer for unsportsmanlike conduct. that flag was thrown very quickly, unless this was a secondary flag from the one we initially saw. Great run pursuit from Nottingham there, forcing them to the outside, as we see the player just getting driven down, swung around, lots of players involved. No wonder the runner was down a little bit more than we would expect. That looked sore. Not seeing what Coach Mayer got up to in that replay, but we don't need to know. We just know he's had his first unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, 2 unsportsmanlike will put you in a disqualification. That will eject you from the game. It looks like the Bullets' 4th down will come out to punt here. After not knowing whether the Bullets can punt, they're going to come out for their 2nd punt of the day.
Well, we're still asking that question after how the first punt went.
I was trying to be polite to the punter. He's got a chance to redeem himself here, does number 14.
Yeah, that is Joshua Petrie, I believe.
Yeah, looks like Joshua.
It's a 2-minute warning at 2 minutes.
So 2-minute warning. Nottingham still have all 3 of their timeouts. The Bullets will only have 1 left remaining. With this ball due to be punted away, it will depend on the field position, but Nottingham at least have aggressive shots getting to the end zone without letting the Bullets have the ball for much more time of possession this half.
So if you're Jason Scott in this situation, you know you're probably going to get the ball with decent possession, decent field. As we see the snap go over the head, just throwing the ball away, and that will be a turnover on downs.
There's a flag down on the field as well, I think. I'm just looking through the crowd of Nottingham players.
I believe this will probably be holding or something.
An eligible man downfield if it's a pass. If the offensive line have left, let's see what Ollie Maskell comes up with.
Seeing UWE players clapping.
Offside. Defense number 8. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. 4th down.
Marlon McGeechee with offside there, and that is a dagger. Offside has just negated what could be such a huge play. Ball snapped over the head, and now that 4th down that was initially a throwaway, a great play by the punter, I will add, once the ball went over his head to throw that ball away, could now be, with a good punt, this could be a 50-60 yard field position swing.
Yeah, that flag could be huge as we see UWE set up for this punt once again. Much better snap, much better punt than last time as well, as we see the Notts players go back. It is bouncing Nottingham way. UWE players there already, so no one on Nottingham going to pick this up.
You hear the poison call coming in from the receiver. Move away from the football. The 2 gunners that were tracking back, they were scared that ball was going to come down on them there. I could see number 12, Obed Adai. He was concerned the ball was going to fall on his head, and then suddenly UWE could have taken over with great field position. But here we go, Nottingham, 60 yards between themselves and pay dirt. They have around 100 seconds left in this quarter, but all 3 timeouts.
And this is what I was going to ask you before, the chaos of the punt that never was. Notts have proven they can go to the air, but they've got all 3 timeouts. Do you keep that strategy here?
I think they're going to stick in the air because the entire field is available. Finn Old, I know he fumbled it on the square in, but that was a big gain of nearly 20 yards there.
Yeah, and as he looks out wide, he is under pressure immediately, but does get the ball out. And that is picked off.
I think that's picked off. I think off the tip. Looks like number 42, Leon Kloskowicz, has come down with that ball. And we just talked about UWE not being able to possess the football again this half, and suddenly it's flipped over. The defense has to walk back out onto the field.
This has been a crazy second quarter of football. This is the anti-Bullets. This is the anti-Notts. This has been pure defensive battle with mistakes sprinkled in for that extra bit of flavour.
You see it here, Cadwallader, he has to scramble out to his right with the pressure, throws the ball. It just tips up off the receiver, I believe, and then Kloskowicz comes down with it. That's a great play there defensively.
Yeah, and we've seen Leon all over the field making tackles, so there for any mistake with that ball in the air. And UWE now with great field position in about 100 seconds to get into the end zone as we see a flag coming in once again.
Looks like a false start's going to be called on one of the receivers on the far side of the field.
Full start. Offense number 83. That's a 5-yard penalty and remains 1st down.
Yep, you called it there. False start from Darian Conrad, making this 3rd and 15 for the UWE Bullets from about the 46-yard line, 47-yard line of the Nottingham side of the field.
And something I was going to say is that Nottingham will possess the ball first in the second half. Could you imagine a touchdown from them and then they'd possess the ball first? But UWE could really put a dagger in here if they get a score before the end of the quarter.
Yeah, as UWE go to the air, going deep, big ball, big attempt at a catch, but great job from number 12. That is Obedadai with the great coverage on that pass attempt.
Yeah, Tyler Robbins came in with great pressure from the defensive tackle spot. Obedadai did well. He played in the hip pocket. You can see here, Robbins straight through on Ism. It goes up in the air, and Obedadai just makes enough to break that ball up.
Well, yeah, the ball looked a little bit underthrown. It looked like the receiver was good, like trying to, posterize him, trying to Randy Moss him there, but he just got his body in the way and was able to cause second down and long.
Something to point out here, Marlon McGeechee is on the sideline here for Nottingham. One of their starting corners is out of the game at this point.
As we see UWE looking to the air once again, going deep once again, and we are seeing an incompletion once again.
Yeah, and Ism goes straight at it. Nate Lovin steps in, number 22 there at the left cornerback spot while McGeechee's out. Ism sees that and goes straight downfield at him. Incomplete there. It's going to bring up third down and long here for the Bullets.
Yeah, and I think that's those kind of connections, we'll see them being completed more and more as the season goes on. This is a new team, some new connections, and just trying to figure out the touch you need can be quite difficult with limited time, limited practice. But this is a big 3rd and 15 for UWE. Jax Crawford with the motion, going to the air once again, and a sack once again.
Tyler Robbins, he got pressure on the last play, he gets pressure on this play. It looked like the Bullets were trying to go back to that fake jet tight end delay screen. Robbins with such a big sack. This is going to knock the Bullets to 4th and at least 20, if not further.
Yeah, number 56 for the Bullets there, just not getting the block needed, not getting low enough, not setting himself, and Robbins just getting through for a huge sack. UWE calling the timeout. I don't know how I feel about this. Your last timeout, still have all 3 timeouts if I'm not mistaken, and they'll have
UWE
just under a minute
seconds
to drive down the field.
Their 3rd and final timeout of the half.
You heard it there from Ollie Maskell, 42 seconds. So this is going to be interesting. Nottingham hadn't called the timeout, and I was expecting Jason Scott to get straight at the side judge to be calling the timeout there, try and preserve the clock, but he didn't. So I wonder what the decision is there, but UWE then could have bled the clock out. It's an interesting one, both sides there.
Yeah, it's especially if we look at what the rest of this game can present itself as. Notts are getting the ball in the second half, and all of a sudden, if Notts make a big play, get a touchdown in this final 42 seconds with the ball back, we're seeing a big switch as we see the punt just get away very high. And fair catch.
Yeah, fair catch there by Bonicato. Looks like Nottingham will have approximately 36 seconds and 3 timeouts to drive the length of the field. The thing is, if you've got 3 timeouts, the entire field is open. This wouldn't be like the Bullets where they'd have to get to the sideline or run the hurry up. Nottingham can run those in-breaking routes. They can run straight across. I wonder whether the defensive coordinator T here is going to bring pressure.
Well, when speaking to the defensive coordinator T, he brought up with me, they want to play smart, fast, tough, disciplined, and they're going to have to go through that full acronym, DF doing a lot of heavy lifting, if they want to come out of this without any points conceded to end the half.
So we're just going to see what the officials are doing here. Maybe the spot of the ball wasn't quite what they wanted.
Hopefully, I don't want to see another flag.
Looks like UWE making a late substitution here. 55 off. I think that is 53 or 63 coming onto the field.
53.
Here's delay a game against delay game against.
Yeah, sorry, that was 63 coming onto the field.
This delay game is because University of West England are out of timeouts, and 55 had an equipment infraction. First down.
And that lack of timeouts has now cost UWE. They didn't have a timeout to call for an equipment violation. Typically, you just give up one of your timeouts, but there they have to give it up as a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, and these are the growing pains that teams face in their early early part of the season. Going to the air, Knots. Lots of time to get the ball off. Looking very, very deep. He's got a man downfield who's made the big grab, and he's on his feet, still in bounds, in for the touchdown.
Silas Starr has gone down the field, a huge grab over the top of the DB, and he has taken it in. Cadwallader, how has he done it? I do not know. A rollout to the right after the pressure, and what a game changer this could turn out to be.
Yeah, that was a huge play. Great job keeping the eyes downfield as he rolls out of the pocket, knows where his man is, and what a grab to get over two UWE defenders, and not only that, break the tackles to make it way into the end zone. And just like that, Notts are looking to half this scoreline with this extra point.
And Nottingham will get the ball to start in the second half.
And this is what we were saying.
Less than 30 seconds to go in this half. Let's see if Roberts can get this kickoff to cut the deficit to 7.
Yeah, ball's down, ball's up, and the kick is good.
There we are, UWE without timeouts. Now, you know the Bullets more than me. They have no timeouts. Do you think they'll even attempt a shot here? Or do you think they'll kneel the ball out and just try and go to half? It would be so uncharacteristic of them. But after a big shot, do you want to maybe just say, let's get to half-time?
I think if you're Jason Scott, if UWE take a knee here, you call a timeout.
With all 3 timeouts, technically, you can get the ball back.
Exactly, and they've just scored in seconds.
Silas Starr breaking 2 tackles there and going into the end zone. He's had a quiet first half. That's his second reception. But boy, oh boy, it has gone for 60 yards and a game-changing score here.
Yeah, the second half is going to be huge. That is a momentum shifter if I have ever seen one. Scoring with just over 20 seconds to go in the half, bringing the scoreline to 7-14, and you get the ball to start the second half. If any offenses look like they can score, like they can drive since the start of the second quarter, it has been Nottingham. It has not been UWE.
No, I believe UWE had the first quarter, but you would say Nottingham have had the second. I tell you what, for the first game of the National League, you couldn't ask for a better first half. This has been a ding-dong battle, and there's still tactics left to be played here. Do you kick it deep? Is it a squib kick? Do you just... I could see Jason Scott with a very bold decision, possibly to try the onside kick after that deep play.
I would love to see an onside kick here, but I think we'll see just a regular kick deep downfield, hoping to not get a return like we saw last time. As we see Jax Crawford looking to get to the outside, but big tackle, number 45. David Abembe with the tackle, leaving 17 seconds on the clock for UWE.
And I'm just looking at the demeanour of the two teams, and it has completely flipped from 20 minutes ago. This Nottingham team now look energised. Cadwallader is on the sideline talking to his offensive coordinator. Big smile on his face. The UWE team, it's been a very long time since I've seen any shoulder slump for a UWE team. It's probably been over 18 months, and you can just, there's just this little feeling around Hillside Gardens that there's issues. They take a knee. This is so uncharacteristic of the Bullets, but will Jason Scott call those timeouts?
Yeah, see, I think UWE want to get to the half now. They want to get there because, and Jason Scott just saying, let's get to the locker room too. Momentum is on their side, and it'll be a tale of two teams in the locker room as they prepare for the second half of this game. Halftime: UWE Bullets 14, Nottingham Gold 7.
You can see here Finley Old, the ball comes out at the bottom and you see the scramble for the pile, but UWE walked away with it there. That was a big play, we thought at the time, didn't we?
Yeah, and then on the next drive we see Donovan looking for the pass, looking for the check down, batted down at the line. Big defensive battle as you've seen throughout this whole game, and then whatever you can do, I can do better. UWE with a bat down of their own, looking like we're going to see no scores in this half, in this quarter of football, but Nottingham here lining up for the long field goal. Had the leg, unfortunately didn't have the accuracy, and just like that, UWE thought they were going to get out of this quarter, getting the ball with good field position, but turning it over quickly, 4 and out, which we're not used to seeing.
couldn't believe that as an interception. Tipped up off the Nottingham receiver and then straight into the arms of Kloskowicz. What a play that was. And here you have it. Tyler Robbins coming through. That was a big sack on Ism. That was almost game-changing. You can see what it meant to him at the time. He comes off celebrating.
Then it was game-changing because UWE had to punt the ball to Notts. This final 2-3 minutes being absolute chaos and ending with this huge bomb. Big grab. Broken tackles. Whoop! And away he goes into the end zone for 6.
Silas Starr there. Big grab downfield. And that was an explosion at the end of the first half. That brought the score to UWE 14, Nottingham 6, and with the extra point, that became 7. That's your score at halftime.
And yeah, going into the second half, momentum well and truly on Nottingham's side. Even when you look at this scoreline, UWE dominating the first quarter, Nottingham dominating the second. What are you looking to see in this second half?
This is going to be an interesting second half. I think it will all depend on how Nottingham will come out on their opening drive. If they come out and make this 14 apiece, boy, this could be anybody's game here.
This could be anybody's game that you do not want to miss. So please join us in 10, 15 minutes. Make yourself a cup of tea. Trust me, you need it. And we will leave you and be back. We will see you soon.
Fish and chips or gravy?
Mac and cheese.
Chinese, chicken curry and some chips.
I'd say pepperoni pizza.
Rugby league.
I grew up playing normal football, so I'd probably say that.
Rugby.
Bobsleigh.
Tom Brady.
Ronaldo.
Michael Jordan.
It's got Tom Brady.
The mighty Ashton Gate.
Gillette, I'm a Patriots fan, so.
Twickenham, obviously.
Gillette Stadium.
First weekend of Advent, sounds okay to me.
Yeah, a bit too early. I'd say like the 10th.
Yeah, 2 weeks before at the earliest.
Bit early. Around 15th December.
Eye back, got look good.
Probably some drinks for after the game, depending on how I feel.
It's got my eyebrow.
Soap for a slip and slide.
Ravens are winning it, and I'm saying Brock Purdy, MVP.
I reckon Mahomes, Chiefs to win Super Bowl.
I reckon the Lions are going to win this year, and league MVP will probably be Joe Burrow.
Lions and Lewis Rees-Zammit. Watch this space.
Just literally 2 foot out going, this is lovely. I never really am that accurate with the score, but my guess would be the score is about, it's either 14 or 21 to UKE, or UWE, and then 7. But yeah, I mean, I did a whole game last time on the end zone, and at the end didn't have a clue on the score, but this is how, it shows how, looking for your own lens, because there was a huge LED scoreboard just there, and ironically, towards the end of the game, I offered it up, and I still didn't actually.
Hello and welcome back to this production of the UWE Bullets versus Nottingham Gold. My name's Craig McLeod. Joining me again, Simon Stockwell. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. We've had a little bit of a break. We've had a chat about what we've seen in the first half, and we've caught up with a couple of injury news as well while we were at halftime. Should we cover those first? Because there's a big one for the Bullets. And when I went in, Jack Crawford, number 7, was having his hand evaluated. He looked questionable to return. The question being asked to him by the physio was, can you catch a football? Which, as a receiver, feels like an important question. So it'll be interesting to see whether he comes out on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we're speaking about UWE, the floodlights are coming on, but have the floodgates opened? We've seen Nottingham score at the end of the first half there, a momentum shifting. UWE receiving the ball in the first half means Nottingham get the ball once again, and with the energy from both teams as they came back onto the field for the second half, you'd think this scoreline's reversed, Simon.
Yeah, definitely. Nottingham definitely seem like the more energetic team. UWE have come out the most dejected I've probably ever seen them in a football game. And that's saying something. They are up 14-7 and they look as if they're down. It's an interesting dynamic. I don't think this team have been used to playing like this. It's going to be, if Nottingham score on this opening drive and make it 14 apiece, boy, oh boy, what could happen here?
Yeah, we've seen fireworks in Hillside before in playoff games. And this, we're getting those fireworks in a season opener.
Memories of that 30-24 game against Leeds Beckett, where the UWE Bullets threw a Hail Mary to win the game and advance to the Premiership final. I remember watching that as a former Nottingham player, trying to work out which team I was going to be playing, who I had to scout for the next 2 weeks, thinking it was going to overtime, and then suddenly you knew it was the Bullets. If there's a team that can start to run away with the game in the second half, it is the Bullets. But Nottingham looked like the team on the ascendancy. Did half-time come at the right time for the Bullets?
It might have done. We'll find out on this drive. This is a big drive for both teams. We're going to see what UWE are made of, what Nottingham are made of, as we see the kick go long.
That was a big hit down there on the sideline. It looked like Bonicato, the returner. They were hoping that ball was going to run out of bounds. You may have heard it over the broadcast. Let it go, let it go, let it go. They wanted the flag to take the ball over at about the 40-yard line for the illegal kick procedure. But Nottingham will be taking over here just shy of the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think there's just a bit confusion with the markings on the field. The ball did have a little bit longer to roll, but it doesn't matter as Nottingham enter the field on offense, coming out at about the 25-yard line, 26-yard line, and going to the air immediately with a catch immediately. Big spin and turn, and that'll be a first down, Nottingham.
It was the man with the big play at the end of the first half. Silas Starr comes in on the little slant route, breaks it back out, almost as if it was a zig after the catch, and manages to take it for a first down. But look at the Nottingham team here as we see the replay. Cadwaller fakes it inside to Garnia Benyon, takes it, Silas Starr to the outside. Nottingham are in the no huddle early in this half.
Yeah, and if Nottingham are going to see linebackers lined up against explosive receivers, he's going to take that option all day as he goes back to the air, back for another catch, and another 6-yard gain. Silas
Starr, 2 receptions there for approximately 25 yards to open this second half. Nottingham staying in that no huddle. I think they want to capitalise here, don't they, Craig? They are really going at this game.
Nottingham, you can see it, you can hear it, you can feel it. They want this game, and they see an opportunity to strike with this drive. As we see 2nd and 4 going to the air once again. Batted at the line and safely to the floor.
Yeah, you can never tell where those balls go when they go in the air, but that was number 23 with the bat up, Michael Abera. And the ball comes down safely for Nottingham. 3rd and short. Nottingham feel as if they want to move the chains. But if I'm honest, I wouldn't be surprised if this was 4th down territory here.
Yeah, I think when the momentum's on your side, you made a couple of big catches already around midfield. Why not? I expect them to run some hitches here and get that quick pass out and just get enough for the first down.
Cadwaller checking the blitz from the edge.
Picked up brilliantly, going to the air once again, caught again.
Is that Silas Starr again with the reception? Yes, it is. Starr, 3 receptions on 3 targets so far this half. Cadwaller 2. Starr is going to be the targets here. Look at him. A big receiver comes down with the ball. 3 Bullets defenders trying to pull him down as Notts get into the trips here.
Yeah, and they are driving down the field well, already into UWE territory. As a bit of a miscommunication on the handoff, leading to a big tackle for a loss.
Yeah, Garni Benyon It looked like typically on a sweep you would go in front of the quarterback. That time he went behind. Cadwallader had to do some gymnastics to get the ball turned around and handed off. And it's going to be a loss there. Nottingham's first loss of yards in this second half. But they still look like the confident team, and they are still staying in the no huddle.
Listen, they know what they're about. They know what they want. And we're seeing Dylan looking back to the sideline, just making sure they know the hurry-up's coming, looking at what he wants. I wouldn't be surprised to see him look Silas Starr's way again as he goes to the air, under pressure, under duress, gets away from it, still looking downfield. Big catch, and still on his feet is number 4.
And Benefo comes down with the catch. Cadwallader had to scramble out, and he looks downfield, keeps the eyes up, and Benefo comes down with that. Now, the issue I'm seeing here is that the Bullets are not adjusting. They are still playing 10 to 12 yards off. I know that wasn't a hitch there, but the reason he's got time is the Bullets are playing so far back. There's no pressure on these receivers to break open early in the routes. I want to see the Bullets get into some press coverage here, as it looks like they may be doing that.
Yeah, with a shorter field, you can't allow yourself those 10 to 12 yards off. You have to get in the face of the wide receiver as a cornerback. You have to stay on him as we're looking to a run, but UWE reading it well. And we're just seeing a game, well, 2 separate games here, the pass game and the run game, just producing wildly different results for Nottingham here.
Yeah, Noah Clack straight through there, number 5. And that was a great play by him. You can see the pressure being brought up by the Bullets. And straight around left tackle there, Emil Thurston. He's a second-year player there. Nothing Thurston could do with Clack.
No, and we will probably see Nottingham go back to the air here, just using those runs to keep UWE honest, but looks like he can do what he wants for the air as he makes another quick pass, gets around to the outside. That will be a first down, but we do see a flag.
Yeah, I was trying to signal it. It looked like a hold on the receiver there as Finley Old went round the outside. I'm expecting this to be 10 yards going back. So it could be 2nd and 21 upcoming for the Gold. And what was a promising drive has started to slow down.
As we hear from Ollie.
Holding. Offense, number 4. 10 yards back from the spot of the foul. And repeat, 2nd down.
So that was Mbenefo who just picked up the miraculous grab. You'll see it top of the screen. Finn Old fakes the block, goes in. There's Mbenefo with the arm wrapped round. And there's not really much you can say there. The side judge with the cannon arm launches that flag in, and you see the second piece of laundry come in there. That's definitely a good call by the officials there.
Yeah, wrapped around him, and because of where the hole occurred, we are looking at 20 yards to go for the first down for Nottingham. Going to the air, under duress, but finding his way deep.
Just overshot Silas Starr in the left-hand corner of the end zone. There was pressure on him. He threw it up, and the cornerback lost Starr in coverage. Had the ball been a yard shorter, that is another walk-in touchdown, but you can see the replay again here. Heavy pressure from the Bullets. 1, 2, 3, straight in at Cadwallader. Starr looking up for the ball, and it's just overthrown.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen UWE get that many men in the backfield this drive, and still able to get the ball out quickly as we see 3rd down. Lots of pressure, still gets the ball out to Silas Starr, who's on his feet, making his way for a first down, but probably held up just a little bit short.
He's going to be just short. Now Jason Scott has got a decision to make. Does he go for it? I'm looking at him down on the sideline. I'm looking at Alec Glenn, and Alec Glenn is looking at his call sheet. I think a play is going to be signalled in here, and they are going to go for it on 4th and short on the first drive of the second half.
I think you have to. I think you might as well. You're down by 7. This is such a huge drive. Nottingham to score a touchdown here sets such a message to the UWE Bullets, to the rest of the National League. And this is such a big 4th down.
4th and 2. We've seen Nottingham struggle with the running game. Will Cadwallader go to the air? It's time to see.
I expect to see a quick out. Silas looking for it. It's not there, and a huge sack.
That is an enormous hit by Elijah Williams, not just in terms of the actual hit, but what it means to the Bullets team, and that is what the Bullets needed. We're looking, and
yeah, he's got him in the flats. It looked like it might have been Silas Starr. I see a 9, might have been his running back. I can't tell fully, but he had a man there, and unfortunately took the sack and took the turnover.
Yeah, turnover there. And let's point out something interesting. Marlon McGeechee will not return to the game. His pads have come off. Number 22, Nate Lovin, will step in at the left-hand corner spot, the top of your screen there.
And we're seeing him get into that press coverage position as we see UWE line up. 2 men in the backfield. And go into that run game immediately. Bouncing to the outside is Brees. Looking to get downfield, just hesitating a little bit.
Looks like a lot of yards on the play as well.
It might have been, but we're seeing number 90 for Notts down on the field, immediately going to his knee.
Yeah, that's Rob Butler there. He's previously played for the Nottingham Caesars, and he's just down on the field there.
Yeah, he went immediately to his knee. And yeah, a couple of players taking a knee, and UWE just getting a huddle in and figuring out what they want to do next.
So interesting there. Obviously the chains aren't going to move while the injured player is down on the field, but it looked like a lot of yards, and that's almost counter to what we saw from the Bullets in the first half. You felt like those runs didn't go anywhere, but they still picked up 3 or 4 yards. This time you felt like it didn't go anywhere and it lost 3 or 4 yards. It's such a big play, but you see the Nottingham defenders flowing to the ball. It looks like Butler is not going to be able to get off. He's just about going to get off under his own steam, which is good to see there.
Yeah, those shoulders are high. That's a man that's in pain, but thankfully not enough pain where he can't walk off himself.
No, it's always good to see the player get up and walk off the field after an injury. So it's second down here for the Bullets after the loss by Brees on first down.
Yeah, 2nd and 12. UWE's full playbook probably still open to them, but looking to make a big play here, changing the narrative that was that second quarter where they just couldn't move the ball. Going to the air, better ball placement from Donovan, and first down possibly for UWE. Depends on the spot of the ball from the referee, but looks like he fell forward for it.
Yeah, quite possibly, and yes, we do see those chains move. I was just trying to get a glimpse at the far side, Judge. Yeah, I think we were pronouncing his name wrong in the first half. We believe it's Isom, not Ism. Deepest apologies there, Donovan. But Isom with a good pass out to the flat, and is that Lucas there, number 85, the big tight end?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, he's been a great player.
Yeah, and that was a much better pass. That's what we want to see, those passes that are more to the numbers. Great patience from Brees there, finding a gap, finding some space, and finding a first down.
Brees running like the old Le'Veon Bell, just waiting for those blocks to set up, and all of the defensive linemen got washed to the far side of the field. He cuts it back. You should be able to see it on the replay here. Brees takes it, and you can just see the wash there of Williamson, number 2, and he cuts it back up inside, skips over one, and then Tyler Robbins, who'd been pushed back on the play, manages to get in on the tackle.
Yeah, Tyler Robbins making a tackle. Pretty iconic duo in this game so far. UWE lining up for 1st and 10, going to the air, incomplete pass, and again, just these low passes from Donovan Isom, just not putting his receivers in the best position to make these grabs.
Yeah, he's been short-arming these passes, which is not what you would expect. I mean, it's better to throw short than long, at least he's not sailing it to the corner or the safety waiting behind. But still, it's a wide-open receiver. That could have been 5 or 6 yards, and suddenly you're 2nd and 10 rather than being 2nd and 5.
Yeah, UWE in the hurry-up still. Looking to go to the air once again. Isom trying to find some space, scrambling around, looking downfield, making the grab. And that looks like Jax Crawford.
Yeah,
I guess he can catch.
He can catch. The physio asked the question, and he must have said yes. He's back on the field. So while he was questionable to return at halftime, he's definite to return now.
Yeah, and as we see this replay, bit of a dangerous pass. Looked like it could have been intercepted. As we see him looking downfield, good vision, realizing his reads aren't there, getting out of the pocket, and you just see that Notts player diving over the top. But enough for a first down, and we will see a run play, delayed handoff, and Brees getting to the outside, finding a lane, finding his way out of bounds after the push from number 12, Abed Adai.
Yeah, big play by Brees there, pick up of 15 yards.
And this is what we expect to see from UWE. This is the offense that we expect them to run. These big plays, you can't stop this. Look at that, you're through in the backfield. You think you've got them, boom, 15 yards. This is how UWE have played for the last 3 seasons. And this drive, if they score, could bring some confidence back. As you see them go to the air, quick dump off pass to Brees, who's found some space, lowers a shoulder. and I believe it'll just be short of the first down.
Yeah, we'll wait and see on the spot of the ball. That's always going to be the difficult bit. Big hit there. That looked like Fletcher Cornwall, number 55, highlighted in the pre-game, making the tackle there. It looks like second down is being signalled by the side judge.
Yeah, it'll be second and inches for UWE here.
I'd love to see UWE take a shot at the end zone with second and inches. Their run game's been going well.
Yeah, and Nottingham might not know what to expect here with a play call like this. They are going to keep it on the ground. They are going to take the first down, and just doing a good enough job there on defense. But we do see a flag come in late. I don't know what this is for, as it came in way after the tackle. We do see a couple of Nottingham players down, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looked like Mampaka with the run there, number 31.
And I believe a UWE player too.
Yeah, there's a couple of players down here.
So a lot to sort out here, folks. But this last two drives, absolutely pivotal for both teams. The fourth down sack at the other end of the field, setting up UWE to take control of this game.
And it's been an interesting first half so far. You thought Nottingham were going to be in the ascendancy, and then suddenly the fourth down sack, the turnover. UWE are nearly picking up a first down on every play. They're averaging probably about 8 yards a play on this drive. We're going to wait to see what the flag is. There's a possibility that this is going to be some sort of blindside block on Nottingham, but we will wait for confirmation here from Ollie Maskell.
Yeah, see him making his way through. Yeah, as we wait for Ollie to just figure out the numbers as he speaks to his crew.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense number 24, half the distance from the end of the previous play, automatic, first down.
So that's Garrett Pittman giving away the unnecessary roughness penalty here. And after the play as well, so it wasn't even, well, penalties are not necessary during the course of a play, but it was after the play was over. There was nothing else left to do. So he's given away 15 yards and the automatic first.
Yeah, not to play favourites or not to point things out. I did notice in the first half, maybe pushing that whistle a little bit too much was Nottingham, and it's finally come back to bite them. But I think the bigger thing to say here is we saw two Nottingham players down, and one especially, number 20, looking like he may not be able to come back to this game.
Yeah, we've got Levi Burke-Astorino walking off the field and Fletcher Cornwall. They're both under their own steam. They're not being supported by physios, which is good, but they are definitely both struggling. Now the question is, Nottingham have now lost possibly 4 defensive starters here, but how deep does their defense go? Are they able to keep this same level of play up with their starter starting to come off the field?
Yeah, that could be a reason why we're seeing this UWE offense drive in a way they couldn't in the second quarter. Will they end this drive with points though?
Yeah, we saw Isom in the first half when McGeechee left go straight after Nate Love in his replacement. I wonder if they'll do again here.
Yeah, expect to see, well, I thought it would be a run, but it's a pass, but it is to Brees. Coming out of the side there, making his way through the offensive line and going in for 6 through the air.
Once again, the short, flat route to Brees has got Nottingham in a bind. They did have no one covering him again. The first touchdown of the game was like this, and now the third touchdown for the Bullets is the same as we watch the Bullets line up for the 2-point try. Brees is out and Packer is in at running back.
Yeah, and just to go back to that touchdown, Brees did such a great job of getting lost in the sauce of the offensive and defensive line meshing together, trying to get to Isom, and just snuck out and was able to be wide open. No one the wiser of where he was. And the ball is on the floor on this 2-point try. Isom getting to his feet, but we are seeing him getting hit hard. Once again, he has been hit hard quite a few times, and he is down again. There did look to be a bit of helmet to helmet, but obviously on a running play, not something they're necessarily looking out for. Just two big bodies meeting, and unfortunately Isom taking the worst of it there.
Yeah, Williamson comes in with the hit. The problem with Isom there was he was down trying to pick the ball up, so he stayed low, and it's always difficult to make those kind of tackles. We hope Isom manages to get on his feet soon and get himself off the field under his own steam. Big stop there on the try by Nottingham, so that keeps it as a 20-7 game. Now, I don't believe Nottingham would go for the 2-point conversions, particularly now that this is a 13-point game. So it actually opens up the possibility, and we're obviously talking hypotheticals here, that if Nottingham score two touchdowns, they could take the lead just on those 2 touchdowns and PATs.
Yeah, and obviously it depends what they're able to do against this UWE defense. Obviously shown what they can do against this UWE defense on that last drive, just unable to finish. And I think that will be the message Jason Scott has given this offense going into this drive. Finish, because it's all there.
So we're looking at the Bullets lining up for the kickoff. Everyone's just getting ready as Isom is still down on the far side. Obviously, we're not going to broadcast that at the moment. We do hope he is okay.
Yeah, his helmet's off. He looks to be talking to the physio staff. The physio staff that do a great job here at UWE, and he is walking off of the field. Coach Dan Mayer walking along with him, making sure his quarterback is okay.
But that's going to be interesting now, because if Isom is out of this game, UWE are then going to a backup quarterback, and it's always difficult moving to a backup quarterback. He's not had the reps with the starters. He's maybe not going to be quite as prepared as the starter. So we will see how long Isom stays out of this game for.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the severity of it. He'll go in for some concussion testing, make sure he's okay. Well, obviously, player safety is paramount, so that might be the last we see of him as we see a big, deep opening kickoff from UWE.
Looks like Bonicato fielding this on the return, and he's got a crease. Bonicato has a crease down the sideline, but there is flag 1, 2 flags down in the backfield, not to temper the energy here. And Jason Scott is unhappy with these calls. He has come straight across to the side judge, and he's questioning them immediately.
That is his job as a head coach.
Oh, you don't. Every call that goes against you, it's your job as head coach to go across and go, are you sure? Where has this come from?
I didn't see it.
So the flag, yeah, it's probably going to be holding here. The flag's just got tossed up to around the 41-yard line. So maybe that Bonicato.
Holding. Return team number 13. 10 yards back from the spot of the foul. It is first down to Nottingham.
So that Bonicato crease was illegal. Finlay Old called for the holding there, if number 13 is correct.
Yeah, and it did happen early in the play as well. So that is a huge change. There's a lot more field in front of Nottingham to get to the end zone now.
Yeah, that's probably a change of, what, 30-plus yards, you would think, given where Bonicato was tackled.
As Nottingham line up. Looking for a quick pass on this first play, looking for maybe a quick bubble screen, and getting down the sideline.
It's Bonicato down the sideline. He's clearly not tired after that kick return. There's a pickup of 9 yards there on the play. Now, I've said this a couple of times, and every single time the team has gone against my wishes. On 2nd and short, I would love to see a shot play get taken, because then on 3rd and short, you've got a much better chance of picking that first down up.
Yeah, and then, you know, there's a reason we're here instead of coaching these teams, because their decisions have been working out for them up to this point as they do go to the air, but nothing there. Maybe a bit of holding there on number 15, but still looking to make the play, and he does.
Finn Old with the catch, just a little touch pass from Cadwallader. We're just trying to check if there's any laundry on the field, and by the way the officials are moving, there doesn't seem to be.
Yeah,
so
Cadwallader did a great job getting out there to the outside. It did look like there might be a little bit of a reach, maybe a bit of a hole, but the referee was right there, didn't see it, and that will be enough for a first down, Nottingham.
Referees are letting the boys play today.
Yeah, as we see him lining up here for this first down around the 45-yard line. Looking to go to the air once again, but UWE through on the right side. Number 5 coming in strong with a huge sack for the UWE Bullets, and we do see a flag late.
Yeah, we talked about Noah Clack versus Emil Thurston earlier in the game, and I think Clack wants to stay on that side. He seems to have Thurston's number, and he's gone straight through there. But we're going to wait and see what this flag is, because while I was double-checking numbers, the flag came in, so I didn't quite see what was going on.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, taunting, UWE, number 55.
Yeah.
15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down. That is number 55's first unsportsmanlike towards disqualification.
And just like that, it's just unnecessary. You've made a huge play on defense. This is a tight game. You didn't even make the sack. You know, you got there, and the referees, they might not see, even if you didn't taunt initially, if somebody said something to you, they're going to see what you say. And wow, yeah, nobody said anything to him.
Yeah, you can't do hand signals to the opposition sideline, and that was what Thomas did just there. And it's cost his team dearly. It's probably cost them 20 yards and the automatic first down here for Nottingham. They're now in plus territory. Cadwallader moving the ball.
Yeah, and just being in UWE territory is going to be a big shift for this Nottingham offense, as they're looking to run on this first down, making some yards, making about 3 yards on the first down, making this 2nd and 7.
And again, these runs we talked about where they don't feel like they're going anywhere, but still 3 yards for Omanua there. Nottingham have got a really good young backfield here between Omanua Benya and Garner Benyon, all three GB under 19 running backs.
Yeah, and when you play running back, sometimes just getting those yards, those positive yards, they just make you feel better about getting that ball in your hand. You can see the creases, you can see you are one bounce away from taking it away. And so let's see if he uses that idea, that mentality to take a big play. Not on this one as we go to the air once again. And good pursuit from UWE, getting to the tackle, even after the first missed tackle, number 4, and that is Jonathan.
There's Jonathan and Benetho
there we are.
The reception there.
Yeah, look at this. First tackle missed. Great job. But just that pursuit from UWE, getting there and making sure that ball doesn't go any further. This will be 3rd down and about 4 yards for Nottingham.
And the word here for Nottingham is efficiency. They are being efficient. Jason Scott talked about that pre-game, and they are doing so here, moving the ball down the field.
Yeah, and this is a big 3rd down. They're going to the air for it, looking very deep for it, and it is there, it is open, and it is a catch.
Bola Cato, take a bow. He had defenders all over him, and he's come with that down the sideline. Cadwallader has tried that 2 or 3 times down to that sideline with Bonacato. The first 2 off the fingertips, and the 3rd one is a connection. And Nottingham like what they see. They are in the no huddle. Finley Old is in the backfield. The tight end has moved in as a fullback. He's played a bit of fullback before, so let's see what Nottingham do.
Yeah, this is a big play. Looks like they can still make a first down without a touchdown, as we see the quarterback rolling out, makes the grab, makes the throw, makes the grab. Number 13 for Notts with the grab. That is Finley Old. You speak of the devil, he shall appear. Makes his way out of the backfield, and for about a 5-6 yard reception.
The GB tight end can do it all. He is a nasty run blocker. You put him in at fullback and you think they're going to go power or duo up behind him, and then he runs the little slip to the outside, gets round the edge defender, and it's an easy pitch and catch there for Cadwallader. Nottingham are within sniffing distance of the end zone here.
Yeah, and that pass was great from Cadwallader. Got it over the defender. Looking to do something similar here as they go to the end zone, and there is a man open, and it's Finley Old once again with the touchdown for Nottingham.
Finley Old, if you put him down the middle of the field in a cover 2, it is a mismatch. All defensive coordinators be aware, do not put a linebacker on Finley Old. Do not put a safety on him. Put both of them on him, and he's straight down the middle on the little post route, and it has gone for 6. Nottingham are now going to try and close this deficit to 6. Remember, that 2-point conversion could come back to haunt the Bullets with how they're playing at the moment.
Yeah, this is a big kick. This puts this puts it down to 6, and it's a 1-score game, a game that they can win with 1 more score, 1 more touchdown, 1 more extra point, and that takes the score to UWE 20, Nottingham 14.
Craig, what a game to open up the National League. Not just the first game of the season, but the first game ever for the National League. We don't quite know, the clock is unofficial, but we are close to the end of the 3rd quarter, and we have almost 12 more minutes of football left to play here at Hillside Gardens in Bristol. The sun is down, the floodlights are on, and these 2 teams are heating up.
Yeah, this is an incredible game for people that are watching the British sport for the first time. You have been treated. For people that have watched it for years, you have been treated, and there's still another quarter to go, and what we've seen from the first 3 is this game could go anywhere.
This game could go anywhere. We have seen Nottingham in the ascendancy. It feels like the Bullets haven't quite been in the ascendancy, even with that touchdown to give them the 20 points. I don't know where this is going to go, Craig. I have no idea. I think this game is too close to call right now.
Yeah, and I think one thing that needs to be remembered is there was a huge taunting penalty from UWE on that drive after a big sack, negating the hard work of that team and maybe causing some heads to drop.
If ever there's teach tape on what not to do on the field, that was it. We're going to see the kick from Nottingham here. How well are they going to cover it?
Yeah, nice and deep. Looks like it's going all the way back, being brought out and looking for some space, finding a little bit, looking to come back, but a little bit of a dangerous play there from number 20, not getting anywhere, losing yards. And I tell you what, if you're worried about a momentum shift as UWE, you do not want a return like that. Nottingham cheering on the sideline, buzzing at what just happened, and there's a defense going out on the field with something to prove right now.
No, Darius Robinson, when you see those kind of returns, it often screams of a team that is starting to get worried. And when was the last time that the Bullets were worried like this? I don't know whether they've been this worried since the last time these two teams meet in the 2023 Premiership Final. That was a 34-27 win to the Bullets, and at the moment it could be one score that decides it here.
Yeah, and with the way this is going, it looks like it will be one score. To which team we are still to find out. UWE going to their backup quarterback, number 4, and going with a run to start this drive. That is Joshua Petrie.
Yeah, we're just trying to bring you a name. Number 14.
14.
Yeah, 14 at quarterback. So Petrie is stepping in for Isom. So whatever happened to Isom there, he's definitely not returned.
Yeah, and you know,
that's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Apologies, we were talking over Ollie Maskell there, but a 5-yard penalty against the UWE Bullets for too many men in the backfield. I couldn't even tell pre-snap. I never saw the flag come in. But 1st and 15 upcoming for the Bullets.
Yeah, and when you've got a new QB in there, Petrie, he has played at Brighton. You know, he's got experience of the UK game, and he's been getting the practice in, getting the reps in, but the last thing you want is a penalty like that on your first drive for the UWE Bullets. As he looks to get a lead block for Brees, who's still on his feet, and going down eventually after a gain of about 13 or 14 yards.
So that is the end of the 3rd quarter. The score here is going to be the Bullets 20, Nottingham 14. Both teams still with 3 timeouts. And what you love to see from a backup quarterback, well, what you don't normally want to see from your backup quarterback is Petrie on the lead block. But we have the highlights here, and I'll hand you over to Craig on this big turnover.
Yeah, big turnover on downs on the sack there. Great work from UWE. It set them up with some momentum to go down the field. And one of those plays that got them down there was this huge run from Josh Brees, breaking some tackles, making his way through the tiniest gap, getting a first down right there. And when the run game's working, why move away from it? Tricking some players, tricking the outside players, and just making his way to the edge, out of bounds after a big game. And then Brees, if we watch Brees, number 30 here, he just sneaks his way through, wide open, and in the corner of the end zone once again. Very similar to the first touchdown of the game. And then look at this, great route from Patrick as he makes his way through the middle. And I'll make some spoilers for you. He made that kick as we see UWE with a sweep to Jax Crawford, and it goes nowhere. The ball might be out.
So that was a sweep there to Crawford, but you could hear the noise from this Nottingham sideline. We are based on the Nottingham sideline, and the noise has been growing throughout the game.
Yeah, big plays like that are huge for this Nottingham team, especially to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down after a loss as well. Making it 3rd and 5 for UWE here, deep in their own territory. What will we see from Petrie? Going to the air, looking for the dump off, but the UWE players unable to get the blocks, and Brees tackled going backwards, not the direction he wanted to go.
It's Pittman again coming down from the safety position out of Riverside, California. What a great play. And look at this. Wholesale change. The punt unit is on for the Bullets. The Bullets are going to have to kick this ball away. I like what the Bullets are doing here, though. Petrie's just give him the easy passes, get him in rhythm. He's only got 12 minutes of football left to play. Why challenge him with anything deep while you're in the lead? But there's not enough yardage there. Now, where will this punt go? They've not been great from the Bullets today. And what can Nottingham do on the return?
Yeah, if you're Petrie here looking to punt, you're just wanting to get this over halfway. Give your defence field to try and stop this Nottingham attack.
I forgot he was the punter.
So did he, maybe. As he gets the ball up, yeah, just over the halfway yard line. Nice little bounce for UWE. And the ball is going out of bounds at about the 42-yard line. We apologise for any language you might hear from our sideline microphones. Things get a bit colourful down there.
And definitely between these two teams, if you're talking about one of the biggest rivalries in University American football, it is the University of West England and the University of Nottingham.
Yeah, and if you're UWE, you have to get used to this kind of intensity from every team you face. You might say it's a new year, it's a new league, nothing matters from the past. You are the defending champions. You have a target on your back.
If any team has got a target on the back, just as you said, it is the Bullets. Nottingham, around 10 minutes left to take down UWE.
Yeah, and they just need a good drive here. Good pass, good grab. And good job there. I believe Finley Old. Yeah, Silas Starr with the catch, but I believe it was that Finley Old that didn't get his hands up for the grab.
I couldn't quite see on that one, I was
afraid.
No,
it was Jack, sorry. Yeah, good job from Jack as this pass kind of went across two routes here.
All hitches, but look how wide open the top of the screen was as well. It's this soft coverage from the Bullets. I want to see them get into press, and I think that's the only way they're going to contain Nottingham at the moment through the air.
Yeah, these short gains are there for Nottingham all day as we see UWE changing up their coverage a little bit, and we see a big pass and a grab made. Fantastic grab there on the far sideline on that inside slant.
Now, when Benefo's really developed as a receiver over the past few years, I don't think 2 or 3 years ago he'd have caught that under the heavy contact. But this time, you can see it here. Cadwallader fake the sweep outside, throw the ball, and Benefo is being contacted as the ball comes into his arms, and he's held on to that to move the chains. Nottingham move into the Bullets half with a 1st and 10.
Yeah, and they're making it look easy with this pitch and catch game that they are playing, and they're playing it well. And UWE are going to have to change something here if they want to stop this drive. As we see, looking downfield this time and nearly intercepted.
Overthrown. Target was Finley Old again. That square in across the middle. Finn Old was just open. Cadwallader though overthrew it, and it was behind him as well. And it's one of those passes where it nearly sailed to the safety.
Yeah, the safety just watching the defender, so not in the position of the overthrow, trying to get over there with the dive and grab, unable to do it, but a rare ball getting away from Dylan Cadwallader there. As we see 2nd down, and Knott's going to the air once again, looking deep, but the ball has been tipped. And we do have a whistle, so they do say that was a forward pass.
I've never seen so many tipped balls at the line in a university game. That's 3 or 4 so far this game.
I believe 4. I believe 4 overall.
I think normally you're lucky to get 4 a season, let alone 4 in a game. So 3rd down upcoming here for the Gold. What will Alec Glenn, the offensive coordinator, dial up here for 3rd and 10?
Yeah, and how will Coach T react for the UWE Bullets as we see this big 3rd down for Nottingham here. Going to the air, looking deep, making the and he's dropped it.
Bonicato couldn't quite reel it in. 4th down, and it does look like Nottingham will punt this ball.
And you might as well. Your defense is playing well. You're playing against a backup quarterback. They couldn't get the drive going after the first initial few plays. You've got to feel strong that your defense can go out there, make a stop, and get that offense back on the field for the win.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that was a great play down there by the defender. But once again, receivers are running wide open down the field. They are not being disrupted at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and it comes back to what you were saying about looking to get some hands on the receiver. Just disrupt these routes, disrupt the timing, and those big plays will be harder for Nottingham to complete As it stands, they did just enough. As we see a timeout.
Yeah, timeout called by Nottingham. Their punt formation was not ready. There was confusion there. Luke Roberts, the punter, was trying to direct traffic but couldn't quite do it.
Timeout. Called by Nottingham at 8 minutes 35. That is their first timeout of the half.
Yeah, first timeout, but in a close game, you wonder if they're going to need all 3 timeouts when it comes to this final drive, the final few possessions. This is a big punt. This is a big series for both teams. UWE with a score, I believe, will put this out of range. Notts with a stop will give their offense all the momentum, all the field position to go in, score a touchdown, and go in for that extra point for the win.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting final few minutes here in the BUCS National League. We've always said that when these two teams meet, fireworks occur, and they are doing so here again. And I'll tell you what, it's starting to get cold here in Bristol, isn't it?
It does. For anybody that's not been to Hillside Gardens, such as yourself, it does get quite cold when that sun goes. It does get quite cold when that sun goes down. It's open field. There's not much protecting it. The wind can start to swirl, and hey, those muscles can start to cramp. So let's hope everybody's fit and ready for this final push. As we see the ball going back into the punter's hands, nice and high. As we hear the Peter call from UWE, not looking to make contact here.
That's a nice punt by Nottingham. They have really pushed the Bullets back, taking over roughly around the 20-yard line, just trying to tell from our commentary position.
Yeah, it might be better than that. It might be closer to 15. But either way, great punt. Making up for the blocked punt earlier and providing the defense with a lot of field to defend here.
Yeah, and you would think that a Nottingham turnover here, a quick 3 and out, would really give them the momentum back that I feel like they need as well. I think they need that energy to feed off. They've been picking it up ever since. So what can Petrie and the Bullets do?
Yeah, as we see the motion from Jax Crawford, looking for a run on first down. Bouncing to the outside, but look at this flow of Nottingham players just getting there. Broken tackle after broken tackle from Josh Brees there, but still only able to make a few yards with that pursuit from this Nottingham defense.
Yeah, Tyler Robbins, he's been playing out the defensive tackle spot, but boy, oh boy, you do not expect a defensive tackle to go straight across like that.
And UWE go into the line now for second down, second and about 6 or 7. And we are seeing another run play going to the outside, but huge tackle there. Number 24.
Who do you think it's going to be? Garrett Pittman down from safety again. Possibly tackle number 8 on the day there against Mpaka. That's going to bring up third down here for the Bullets. I think this is going to be a crucial down to see how the rest of this game will play out.
Yeah, and you just see him come into the bottom of your screen there, just tracking the play, tracking the running back. Great pursuit, great body position, and makes a huge tackle.
Where are we looking? Third down and 7 here as you see Pittman, the hard-hitting safety on your screen.
Yeah, working his way up, expecting maybe a run. Something might, something to change up, but we are seeing probably a timeout.
A flag coming in from the backfield, from the defensive backfield, sorry.
Delay of game.
Oh,
on the offense, that's a 5-yard penalty. It remains third down.
And that is a crucial penalty. That puts this third down to third and about 12, third and 13 for the UWE Bullets, and just makes it that little bit more unattainable. As UWE look to line up, get into the huddle, make a decision on what this play is going to be, and this is a big third down for both teams. One man in the backfield.
Pressure up here for Nottingham.
Rolling out, looking to the air, going back to that screen, finding some space, but not finding enough room to break out. That will be a tackle after a short gain.
Tyler,
4th and 10.
Tyler Robbins has really put his stamp on the game here from the defensive tackle spot. Very rarely do you see such a disruptive defensive tackle if I was going to compare him, and it's a lofty comparison, he's playing like Aaron Donald did before he retired in the NFL for the Rams. He is getting in, disrupting the passes, rushing the passer, and then getting back on the tight end screen. What a play there from Robbins.
Robbins and Pittman, two names we are saying over and over again when Nottingham are on the field. They are playing out of their skin right now, and the Nottingham team, if they come back and win, those two have a lot to say about the end result, as we see quite a good punt. Fielded, but fielded on his knee, meaning the ball will be dead from about the 48-yard line.
It looked like Bonicato slipped just as he went to field the football, and he had a crease as well. He could have taken it down to the far sideline on your screen. It's all these little things, the little slip, the little overthrow. Which way is it going to go? You can never really tell.
No, but one thing we can tell is I expect to see Notts going to the air quite a lot on this drive. Just under 6 minutes to go. Again, our clock unofficial, but there or thereabouts. Nottingham have some time to work the field here. Let's see what they do with it.
Just overthrown, and a flag comes out late. A flag comes out late, and I tell you what, I think if that's going to be for a push out of bounds, I know I'm a former University of Nottingham player, but that could be a little bit harsh here on number 28, the Bullets defender.
I think so. That didn't look like it was getting called until Jason Scott made a bit of fuss, and the ref went, you know what? All right, that was close, but that's 15 yards.
Defense, number 28. 15
yeah,
yards,
unnecessary roughness, 15
automatic,
yards.
First down.
Number 28, Robbie Kendall. He's had a good day so far today. We've called his name a couple of times. But 15 yards and the automatic first, really starting to flip the field position.
Yeah,
if this keeps going, oh man.
Two big personal fouls from UWE, two big 15-yard penalties in the last two drives. Really setting up Nottingham with fantastic field position as Nottingham look for the snap. Go into the air quickly, and again, Silas Starr with the grab. No Bullets near him, no one contesting the grab, just making sure they're there to make the tackle. But UWE, these guys have the hands, they are making the tackle, they are making the grabs. You need to be on them if you want to disrupt this passing game.
Yeah, Silas Starr doing a great job there. Nottingham back into the no huddle. Both teams have been playing in the no huddle for quite a lot of this game, which is why it felt like it's so action-packed.
It's not only felt like it's been action-packed, it has been action-packed. This has been 4 quarters of great football, great defensive work, great offensive pass, and a great effort there for the grab. Well out of bounds, but put it where only his receiver could get it.
So that was just out of bounds, targeting Bonicato again down the sideline. They've only been 1 for 4, 1 for 5 on those kind of plays, but the big play did come before. What can Cadwallader do here? He is going to be, it's going to be only a couple of yards a game, but it is 3rd down. You still, though, feel like this is 4th down territory.
It's hard to say that with the time that's left, with how their defense has been playing. He is looking deep to the air, but he is under duress. He has been sacked, and all of a sudden, is it 4th down territory? No longer a question. 4th and 8, 4th and 9 after a huge sack. Cadwallader looking downfield. You see him looking the way he wants to pass it, looking to go to that left side, looking downfield. It's not there, it's not there. And then by the time he realizes he has to get out of the pocket, it's too late.
Yeah, I see the defensive tackles running on, the offensive line running off. Nottingham will punt this ball away. They have approximately, and we've said this before, the clock is unofficial, but they were going to have approximately 4 minutes. They have 2 timeouts. UWE will go into the 4-minute offense. Ball control, try and run the clock out. What can Nottingham do?
They got to get this punt away first, and they do, and that is a good attempt at a coffin corner, but that might go all the way out of bounds. Why are you grabbing that? Making his way downfield.
This is now dangerous territory for the Bullets. They are in safety range as well. It wouldn't make a difference because it would still be a 4-point game. That field goal wouldn't do anything, but you could give the Nottingham Gold the ball back quickly here.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of opportunity for Nottingham to get the ball back here quickly. UWE, they've been a bit hot and cold. Some drives have been good, some drives haven't, but they need to find some consistency. As we see the field there from number 20, that is Darius Robinson. Unsure if he should have taken that. Looked like it was going to be bouncing out of bounds, but he did see some Nottingham players there or thereabouts. So maybe it was a good business decision to give his quarterback just a bit more space.
Yeah, we're going to see what the Bullets can do here with Petrie leading them, the backup quarterback. Oh, what a play by Brees. He's managed to just get out of that. I think it's still a loss of 3 or 4 yards, but it could have been a loss of 5 or 6, putting them right on the goal mouth.
Yeah, and here's the thing. UWE know they need to run the ball. Nottingham know UWE need to run the ball. Nottingham are selling out for this run, and even though Josh Brees is doing a fantastic job of breaking that initial contact, trying to get more yards, the Nottingham players are arriving in droves, and UWE need to sort something out with their run blocking scheme right now.
This might be the fourth quarter. Typically teams will be getting tired, but Nottingham seem to be getting more and more energy. I think they know this game is here for the taking if they want it. It's just, can they do it?
As we see Petrie going, throwing back across his body. Good run, good pass, good grab. As we see UWE making their way downfield.
There's questions about whether the ball came out. I think the official's going to rule him down. The ball did come out, but Nottingham were protesting for that hard. Obed Adai, coming back from his corner spot, manages to hawk down the receiver. Let's have a look on the replay. The tunnel screen out to the left after the fake to the right. And I'm trying to get the number, I believe.
It's only O'Reilly with the grab and run.
Yeah. So that is a great play from the Bullets, and it is a dagger for Nottingham. You had them in their own goal mouth, safety territory, and now you are up at the 40-yard line with time ticking. 2 timeouts left here for Nottingham, and they are going to be crucial.
Yeah, that was a great connection from Petrie to Oni O'Reilly. Petrie getting the ball to his receiver, letting his receiver make a play, and they're downfield feeling a bit more comfortable. I expect them to go back to the run play here, especially with how long's left on the clock. As we see the pitch, and we see Brees just dropping a shoulder. As we see a flag in the backfield, usually a sign of holding.
Yeah, let's see what this is, because if this is holding, Petrie was running double shovel option. I love to see it here from the Bullets, breaking out some old school option plays. Let's try and wait and see if we can get Ollie Maskell on the microphone to tell us what the penalty was.
And it looks like they're pointing in UWE's direction, so it will be going back.
Personal foul, tripping, offence number 73. 15 yards back from the spot of the foul, repeat the down.
And these 15-yard penalties are huge, and as the clock runs down, they just get bigger and bigger. 15-yard penalty for tripping here from number 73.
Tripping,
not. It
definitely is. That is not a good play from the offensive lineman.
Called by the
and no need. The player's not going to be making the play.
West England.
Timeout called by the Bullets as well.
That is their first timeout of the half.
Yeah, and that will be 15 yards from the spot. So that does make this first down and 25 for the UWE Bullets, a number you never want to see on offense when you're trying to make a first down.
So first and 25 with 2:27 left on the clock, as confirmed by our referee there. So we've got the 2-minute warning left to go.
Yeah, and UWE just taking the timeout, looking to settle themselves a little bit after another costly penalty. They do have 3 downs to try and make 25 yards here. Let's see what they do. Running an empty backfield here. Petrie all the way back, looking for the quick pass, makes the quick pass, and at 1 broken tackle, 2 broken tackles, falling to the ground, number 85, making a good gain right there.
Tim Lucas, the big tight end there, with the great play on the little pass. So I wonder how conservative the Bullets are going to be, but it does look like the 2-minute warning will be the next play, unless the Bullets do something or Nottingham call a timeout based on the time left on the clock.
Yeah, and number 40, Daniel Schofield, freshman, first-year player, I believe, making a great play, getting just enough there on Lucas to disrupt his running and bring him down for
at 2 minutes.
A shorter gain as we get the notification, a 2-minute warning from Ollie.
So just signing that Nottingham have 2 timeouts UWE have, I believe, 2 timeouts. Couldn't quite see, just 2 fingers.
Correct, yeah.
So 2 minutes left in the first ever game of the BUCS National League, and it could go either way on a big set of downs here.
Yeah, we're looking at about 2nd and 16 for UWE, going quickly to the air. Good grab, looking to get to the outside. He does break some tackles. This time we do see another
coming
flag.
in. I think it's going to be blocked in the back on the UWE receiver. I was going to question it because it looked like he gave a bit of a shove, and again, it could be coming back against the Bullets another 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah, and we brought it up at the start of the game. UWE did not want a repeat of the 2022 National Championship. Flags all over the field, and once again, flags are letting them down in a big way here. Big gains being negated by a lack of discipline.
Let's listen to Ollie Maskell, our referee, as he calls this out. This is a big penalty.
Offence, number 18. 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Repeat the down.
Jermaine Brown with holding there. Let's watch this replay. You see the bubble screen there, the throw to Tim Lucas, and let's have a look. It's holding on the outside receiver, not the penalty I thought that was going to get called, but fair enough. He's got hold of the TB. Holding's always one of those that when you look at it, one team calls it one way, one team calls it the other. But about 1:51 left, at least for the Bullets. They ran 9 seconds off the clock, and every second is going to count right now.
Yeah, and I do believe we saw Pittman down on the field for Notts.
Oh, that's big for Nottingham if he's going to come off the field, because he has been a talisman on defence. You're going to want to hope that Robbins or Williamson steps up from the defensive line, but Pittman has been such a surefire tackler.
Yeah, as we see him walking off the field. Looking okay, not hobbling too much, maybe just a bit of cramp. He has been flying all over the field, so wouldn't blame him for cramping up a bit in the last couple of minutes here. It will be 2nd down again for UWE, but again, you're looking at 25 yards here, 25, 30 yards for UWE to get a first down.
Can anybody tell the distance here? I can't, but you're definitely right, 25 to 30 yards. Petrie may have to work up some magic here if his receivers can't do it for him.
Yeah, and we see Nottingham showing the blitz. Bit of miscommunication in the backfield. Petrie still on his feet, just doing enough to go down for maybe a couple of yards on the loss.
That's a really good job by Petrie to turn what could have been an absolutely catastrophic play into just a bad one. It's not often you say that just a bad play is a good outcome, but you see there Tyler Robbins, number 3, straight through against the right tackle, gets shoved in the back. Chris Baby, number 42, can't clear it up, nor can Jack Redhead, number 34, and eventually he just dives down under the arms of number 40, Dan Schofield, to pick up a couple of yards. 3rd and incredibly long incoming for the Bullets.
Yeah, and if you're the Bullets, you're just looking to make yards here. I think Nottingham know it too. They're probably going to go quite hard on the run here to stop UWE from getting some space, stop them from running the clock down even more.
The clock is ticking. If I was UWE, I'd be taking a delay of game or a false start here and try and let it run as far as possible. Now let's see what this flag is.
Delay of game. On the offence, it's a 5-yard penalty. It remains 3rd down. The clock was running during the penalty, so the next play will start on the snap.
Next play will start on the snap. That is the most important thing here for Nottingham. Around 60 seconds left in this game. 5 yards further back. I would not be surprised to see the Bullets run the ball here, make Nottingham burn the timeout, leave them with just 1 left, and punt the ball away. Now, we've seen Petrie's punts. They've not all gone that far, so it's going to be a game of field position here.
It's been a game of field position this entire 4th quarter, and it's a field position that Nottingham have been winning. This is a huge down, regardless of what UWE are able to make of it. They're going for the run, but they're not going to get far by the looks of it. Josh Breach just having to hand people off left and right, going back and forwards, just breaking tackles, doing what he can, taken down eventually.
And the timeout called by Nottingham, but what Brees did there as well, he stayed in bounds. You saw him go to the sideline, and he absolutely dropped the anchor to turn himself around, because if he went out, of bounds,
51 seconds.
5-1, 51 seconds are going to be remaining. But this is a great play by Brees. You're saying it here as I'm talking over it. 1, 2, 3. Oh my goodness, Brees manages to get himself back in bounds.
4.
Who's he even corralled down
6. By? It took the 6th tackler for Nottingham to get him down.
That was Jack Redhead. Yeah, Jack Redhead coming in with the tackle there. He has been a good player today, playing in that linebacker role. And the punt team is out. I have never seen the Bullets punt so many times in a game. Have you, Craig? You've watched more Bullets games than I have.
I have watched every home game they've had for the last few years, as well as the national championships, and I would say they have punted more this quarter than they have in all those years combined. Nottingham have really pushed them back. Obviously, penalties have let them down too, but they need to do well with this punt. That is not a good punt.
It is short, but Nottingham needs to get away.
Good bounce.
Oh, it takes a UWE bounce, and Nottingham are.
Yeah, take the time.
They're going to let the clock. I'm not sold on that by the officials, I must admit. I'm trying to remain impartial here, but letting. That's a great play by UWE, I've got to say. An incredible play to let that clock drive. But as soon as that ball is stopped for more than a couple of seconds, I am surprised it's not blown dead. And Jason Scott is back over, questioning that, as I would be as well.
There's been some questionable stuff, but listen, we appreciate the referees volunteering their time and being here. Not everything can be hard to see. Not everything can be hard to interpret. And it's left Notts with 36 seconds and a timeout to go down the field.
Cadwallader in the empty. What is going to happen?
He's rolling out. He's been good on the rollout before. He's looking deep. He's got a man wide open. And he's got a touch. He's got the space.
The ball is inside the 5-yard line. I'm sorry if it got loud, but what a play here for Nottingham. Finley deep down the middle on the post route, and Nottingham are going in the hurry up. They only had one timeout. Is that what's been called? It is. Nottingham are within spitting distance of winning the game, and look at the energy on the sideline.
Yeah.
Craig, take over before I run out of breath.
Cadwallader doing such a great job rolling out, and Finley Old just getting so much space down the field. How did he get so open? UWE really let one past them there. That's all you have to do on those kinds of plays, is stop these big opportunities. Cadwallader showing that he's willing to roll out and throw that ball deep, and if you as a defense are not going to take those deep options away, then that is going to be there all day, and it's come at a crucial time for Nottingham.
Yeah, what a play there. Cadwallader has had such a game. We've got how many seconds left, we don't know. We've still got to pick an MVP, but we cannot do it until this game is over, I don't think, because we need to see who's going to win the game.
And yeah, UWE just looking a bit confused over what they want to do here. Very short field for Nottingham. The UWE front has got to Cadwallader in these situations in the past, but this is a huge down as Cadwallader looking for the quick pass, and it is incomplete.
There we are, incomplete pass. You can feel the energy, feel the tension and the excitement here in Bristol. It has been bubbling for 47 minutes, and we are all coming down to this. We saw UWE UON number 1 2022 national final 28-21. UWE scored in the final minute. Number 2, they scored late on for a 34-27 win. Let's see how number 3 plays out.
Yeah, and we are looking like we're seeing a timeout called from UWE here. Yeah, then we see the teams go to the sideline here. Tensions are high, excitement is higher, and
25 seconds.
This comes down to how these next couple of plays go. Obviously, Notts, 3 attempts to get into the end zone here.
3 attempts to get to the end zone. They are second and goal, so we know that there's going to be no extras without a DPI or a roughing the passer or something like that. It is still possible that they get a full set again, but honestly, with 25 seconds left, the factor is the clock. I expect every single shot to go at the end zone here. There's no point trying to leave it short. You may as well get this ball in the end zone.
Yeah, and the pass game's been working for Nottingham since the opening kickoff. I would not want them to go to the run-in game here. As much as that could put UWE on the back foot, it could surprise them. I don't think they want to lose time on the clock when their pass game, especially their short pass game, has been money all afternoon long.
Bonacato slot left, Old slot right. It looks like Silas Starr is the X at the top of the screen on the right, and probably Mbentho on the left. Cadwallader has options. Where does he go?
Yeah, and the snap is good. Looking up straight away, looking for the back shoulder fade, but doesn't need it. Silas Starr
He's walked into the end zone. We are checking, but look at the despondency from the Bullets. Look at the ecstasy from Nottingham. But this game is not over. We still have to wait. So let's just double check everything here. I'm just double checking I've got the score right. That tied the game, I believe.
It is. It's 20 all.
At 20 all. Luke Roberts has now got the most pressure of a kick he has ever kicked in his life. 1 point will put Nottingham in the lead with approximately 20 seconds left in this game.
And we will see what happens here. Referee getting in to stop the snap.
Timeout.
Let's just remind everybody that if this game is 20 apiece at full time, this is not America. We will tie. The tie will be called immediately. There is no overtime anymore. There used to be regular season overtime, but that has been cancelled. If this was the playoffs, a different story, but this time it would be a 20 apiece tie.
Yeah, something we were all aware of coming into this season, that it would be a little bit different with the lack of overtime. So this kick even bigger for Notts. Now, you mentioned the kick, the pressure on the kick. There is pressure on the long snap. There is pressure on the hold. There is pressure on every single player on that front to maintain their block and stop UWE. It's UWE special teams that's already got a block punt today, looking to get a blocked extra point to end this game, potentially end this game with a tie. Obviously, UWE will have 20 seconds regardless of what happens on this play.
Jack Redhead, the long snapper. That looks like Garrett Pittman, the holder. Luke Roberts, the kicker. This needs to be the cleanest operation they've had all season. Let's see what happens.
Snap is good.
There are flags up. We need to check the flags first.
I imagine this will be on UWE trying to jump over if I was to go with game flow.
Too many men on defence, I believe, is going to be the call looking at it. And you can see the celebrations from Nottingham. You can see what this means as the experienced players are trying to calm them down. I want to wait for the confirmation from Ollie Maskell, but could this be Nottingham usurping the Bullets?
Yeah, at home for UWE as well. UWE have never lost at Hillside Gardens. Jason Scott, as a head coach, is 0-3 against the Bullets. Who can forget him with Loughborough Aces as well?
The try is good. The only words Nottingham wanted to hear. It's the zig route. Cadwallader to Silas Starr. And it is again for a touchdown. Those two have been dynamic in the second half. They had a quiet first half. As you see Luke Roberts make the kick. UWE were trying to get in for the block, and can you blame them with 1 point in it? 20 seconds left. Craig, what are we expecting here? Is this going to be a deep kick? Because Nottingham have had a couple of struggles.
I think it has to be. I think it has to be. You still have to kick this ball deep. You can't allow it to come short and let some chaos occur that can lead to UWE sneaking in through the back door. You need to kick this deep and trust your coverage team.
No timeouts for either team here. UWE may have to run some magic.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here after this kick. Depending on how long this return takes, I imagine UWE will have about 15-16 seconds. They haven't really looked downfield, and Notts will be in a prevent defense with no timeouts from UWE. It all comes down to how well this kick is fielded. As Nottingham line up, we see the approach, we see the kick, it is deep.
Fielded by the danger man, Brees.
And Brees looking to get to the outside, looking to cut it back in, but going down, probably for the best, wasn't going to make too many yards. So good to give the offense as much time as they can. 14 seconds for this backup QB-led offense of UWE.
What can Petrie do? He has not been able to throw down the field here, but will he be asked to throw the Hail Mary? Will UWE go to what I have called over the years the Nottingham special, the hook and ladder? You may expect a trick play here, as you see all of the receivers go trips right to the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, let's see what can happen here. As of course we see the pass, we see the deep throw into double coverage, and it's up hit. Go down, there's the game.
And that without a shadow of a doubt, means that the Gold have usurped the Bullets. Nottingham will take the opening game of the BUCS National League, and look what it means to them. You see the replay here. Petrie didn't look like he was ready for the snap. Launches the ball up. What else could he do? And it is brought down. I'm trying to get a number. Lewis Groom stepping in at safety. What a play, what a game, and we expect to see one victory formation for Nottingham.
Yeah, what a game from start to finish. Penalties may have had a role in this, but they didn't have a role in deciding the winner. Nottingham played well on offense, they played well on defense, and they are going to get the first win of the National League.
Nottingham in victory formation, and you are going to see elation from the sideline. We wait to see Ollie Maskell put the ball in the air, and we see it. Nottingham have come into Bristol and upset the Bullets. I don't know who thought this would have been possible, but at the third time of asking, Nottingham take the game.
Yeah, big game, well played from Nottingham from start to finish. They never let going down by 14 points early interrupt how they wanted to play this game. They knew what they were about, they knew what they were doing, and they stuck to that game plan from start to finish, and they've come out of Bristol with something nobody else has ever been able to do at Hillside Gardens. Get the win against this UWE Bullets team.
And we're tracking that man there because he is today's MVP. Dylan Cadwallader will walk away with the MVP in what could be one of the best games of the season here as we open up the season.
Yeah, what a way to start the season. What a way to start this new format of a National League. We knew we were going to have fireworks in every single game, and they are firing off and shining bright tonight for Nottingham.
Craig, we're going to talk about the Bullets, we're going to talk about Nottingham, but let's talk about what this means for University American football. This was a big step to implement the National League, to put 5 teams here, and we talked about playoff football every single week, as you see Dylan Cadwallader highlighted as the MVP of today's game. But if this is what we can expect from the National League, I think this sport is going to go from strength to strength.
American football in the UK has been growing for a while now. We're seeing more and more players from the UK play in Europe. We're seeing more and more European and American players want to get involved with the sport in this country. And when we put on a product like that, can you blame them?
No, not at all. And do you know what? A lot of these people will be seeing this as an opportunity to advertise themselves to European adult teams. We have seen the European League of Football. We have seen players from both sides of this game who have played in that league before. I am almost completely awestruck. I was on the field for the first University of Nottingham UWE final. I wasn't for the second. And you can see how much this means to the players. This is an unbelievable day for Nottingham football.
Yeah, they've come to Bristol and absolutely smashed expectations by getting the win. And UWE looking a bit dejected, but listen, you either win or you learn. And today, there's a lot of learning for the UWE Bullets as we go into the highlight package. And the game started strong, as mentioned. UWE scoring early. Big touchdown there to Josh Brees on the check down from Isom. Went for UWE, goal for 2 points. UWE always going for 2 points. This time they converted, and unfortunately this would be their only conversion of the game, which came in vital by the end result. And a big block punt early. And really at this point, UWE looked like they were up to their old tricks, dominating in all 3 phases, leading to another touchdown. 14-0 UWE Bullets, and it really looked like a one-sided game from here, didn't it, Simon?
It did, 14-0. We thought this was going to be a one-sided game. It was a failure on the 2-point conversion to Lucas there, the big tight end, great coverage. However, we see today's MVP, Cadwallader, come out. But this was a big play, a turnover. Finley Old couldn't quite keep hold of the ball, and the ball hits the turf and recovered by the Bullets. And at this point, Craig, we thought this game could be going the way of the Bullets.
Yeah, and it looked like it was going to be strong UWE performance all round, especially, you know, we get a missed field goal here at this point. Still 0 points on the board for Nottingham. And as we go to this next play, is this a touchdown for Nottingham? Is this where they turn things around? No! It's an interception for UWE again. Momentum on their side.
It was 14-0 at this point, and even though Nottingham got close, it felt like they were getting there. But then one of the possible MVPs from today, Tyler Robbins, came through. He had a hell of a game. Break straight through the line to sack Isom.
Yeah, and as you start to see the sunset on the field, the sunset on the UWE Bullets, with Nottingham producing big play after big play. Another huge pass to Silas Starr that he was able to take in after 2 missed tackles.
That was a big turning point in this game towards the end of the first half, with Nottingham getting the ball at the start of the second half.
And as we see, a big sack on 4th down for UWE again. Coming out of that half, looking like momentum has shifted, but UWE with the big stop, keeping that win, keeping the momentum going. UWE on offense, looking for a big play. Brees bouncing around, getting a big first down. And UWE looking to gain the control that they had lost. Again, going to the run-in play. If you're good at it, you stick at it. And UWE were able to keep running this ball, looking to continue to gain positive yards. And where did those positive yards lead? Another touchdown. Isom to Brees. Similar to the first touchdown, just as much space. But unlike the first touchdown, the 2-point conversion was a failure. Nottingham, not to be deterred, go down. Great touchdown from them there. Wide open. Finley Old right down the middle of the field and brings it to a 1-score game. Nottingham looking to drive down the field. And then look at that. A tipped pass. A 4th tip pass of the game. The 3rd one for Nottingham. But it didn't stop them. They came onto the defense when they were needed the most. And look at that, great job from, I believe that was Pittman, Garrett Pittman, driving down the field, getting a big tackle, letting Donovan try and do something, but a big sack from UWE. This final quarter was a field position game, and eventually UWE were unable to hold on. Despite some big plays, Petrie coming in, making a big pass to O'Neal Riley. This looked like it was game over from here. This looked like they'd gained enough yards, but unfortunately, penalty after penalty drove them back to here, where we just see Brees. 6 people it took to eventually get him down. Unfortunately, he only gained a few yards, and UWE were forced to punt. And that led to this pass. Coming in, Cadwallader with the huge pass. We saw him running out of the pocket a lot today. Wide open. Jax Crawford, not Jax Crawford, apologies. Looking to make the tackle, but it was not enough. Has not scored to the air once again. 4-6, tying this game up, leading to the biggest extra point. You see Laundry on the field, but that's all against UWE. The extra point stands. And one last gasp effort for backup quarterback Petrie here. Throwing it where he could. It was into double coverage, and with that interception, the game was over. Nottingham win this opening game of the National League, and what a game it was.
Nobody believes in us. Nobody. God did. Nobody believes in us. But God did. Come on.
And with that, I am going to cut to my broadcast partner, Simon, who is with today's MVP. Simon?
My mic pack's low. Do you want me square or? And we are here on the field after the final whistle. The University of Nottingham Gold 21, the UWE Bullets 20. What a game. And we have with me here Dylan Cadwallader, the MVP of today's game. Dylan, your first game in British American football. How does it feel to go and get a win against a team that has given the Nottingham team so much trouble over these past few years?
It feels good. You know, it's a team that we know their history, we know what they've done the last few years, but we came in with a fresh mindset. We've got a lot of new guys this year that we graduated a lot last year, and we're excited with this group.
Yeah, big connections to Silas Starr, big connections to Finley Old, Jack Bonicato. What are you expecting out of this receiver group? Because what we've just seen is absolute fireworks.
Yeah, big things. They actually made a lot of mistakes today, and there's a lot to get better from. But they did a great job today. So we're looking forward to the future.
Yeah, and the defense, you were down 14-0 at the start. Did you ever think at any point this game might be out of reach right now? You had the turnover, then the missed field goal. What was your mindset at that point in the game?
Yeah, the game's never out of reach. You know, shout out to Dartmouth College. They came back from one of the biggest comebacks in FCS history this year, and we're just following the same energy as the game's never out of reach. We've got a good sideline, good group of guys that can believe in ourselves and believe in our coaches.
Yeah, and that was a great game. Now, what was the play of the game for you? What really changed the game if you had to pick one play from today?
Oh, definitely the scramble and throw to Finley on that first down, rolling out to the right side and seeing him open down the field, kind of a blown coverage by UWE, and he just caught it and ran for however many yards it was, and we went down and scored on the next two plays.
Yeah, what an unbelievable game. Now, Dylan, just one more question from me. What do you expect from the rest of the season? You are 1-0 going in, and you have just made a statement to the rest of the National League that you could be the team to go after here. What are you expecting?
We expect to win week in, week out. We start here, and we're only going to go up.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dylan. Congratulations on being today's game MVP here. So you have just heard from Dylan Cadwallader, the game's MVP. We are going to see if we can get Jason Scott, the winning head coach, over as I see him walking over to me. As he's going to walk around the other side of the camera. Jason, it was the third time of asking in the Premiership, and it is 21-20 to Gold. How are you feeling?
Yeah, good. Look, we've not won any medals, we've not won any trophies today. We're 1-0, and that's all we've done. So we've got our feet on the ground. We're just looking forward to getting back to watching some tape on Tuesday and getting ready for Durham.
You might feel like you've got your feet on the ground, but you've now got a target on your back. I don't know how many people were expecting you to come up to Bristol and usurp the Bullets. Now, that was an unbelievable game, but what are you expecting for the rest of the season?
Well, let me tell you, we've got about 40 guys on the sideline expect us to come to Bristol and beat the Bullets. Now, we're just going to take, you know our mantra, next one wins, next one wins. All we're doing now is we're happy with the game. We need to watch tape, make sure we iron out any issues. We weren't perfect by any means. I know we've got a big test at Durham, so I'm looking forward to going up to Maiden Castle on Sunday.
Yeah, it's a long trip away to Durham, but looking at today, what do you think changed the game for you? You were down 14-0, a big sack on fourth down as a turnover, the missed field goal. Where did it change for you? Was it changing coaching? Did you put a new play in, or was it just the mindset that Nottingham are always in this game?
Yeah, just trust in what we did. We started a bit slow, which you account for like a 3-hour journey down here. We just started slow. We just trusted our fundamentals. You know, in times of high stress and high pressure, you sink to the level of your training, and you know we just remembered all the hours we put on the field, the trust and belief in the guy to the left of us and to the right of us, and we knew that, you know, if we win the game, if it's close at the end, we're going to win the game.
And it's really nice to see Nottingham with a potent passing attack. Cadwallader, Starr, Bonicato, Old and Benetho. There's so many names, I'm barely being able to remember them. Do you think that this is going to be your identity going forward, or do you want to try and get the ground game more involved?
Well, Coach Glenn and Coach Davis on defence, you know, they'll build an offence and a defence and special teams to beat that opponent in a week. So we might run the ball next week, we might pass the ball, we can come out empty. We've got tight ends, you know, we had 3 tight ends in kit today, 3 running backs. You know, we have the ability to be a chameleon, to change our form and to adapt to whatever surroundings we get faced with.
Well, I'm going to go let you celebrate with your team before you get on the coach back to Nottingham. But Jason Scott, the winning head coach today, as the Gold take the game 21-20.
Thank you for everyone watching at home. Peace.
Jason Scott with a trademark exit there. As I'm going to bring Craig back in so we can do a little bit more discussion about this game. Craig, what have we just witnessed? A 21-20 game. I know I keep saying the score, but it's almost unbelievable, particularly at the 14-0 mark. What more can we expect here?
Well, Simon, you say, what did we watch? We watched a fantastic game of football.
We did.
We watched a fantastic start to this National League. And more importantly, we watched history, as we expect every single game this year to be just as good.
So every single game to be just as good here. But what do you expect from, let's say, the Durham Saints next week? Nottingham are going to have to go up to Maiden Castle. How are you expecting maybe Durham to take this on?
Well, Durham, you know, they're a good team. They're a solid team, thank you. They're a good team. They're a solid team, and we've seen Nottingham travel well. They travel well down south to face Bristol, to face UWE in a fortress that UWE have had us for years and years and years. They've not lost here. They will go up to Durham with the confidence that they have beat the reigning champions, and they will believe they can beat Durham, a feat that they weren't able to do last year when it came to get into the final. This team is playing with confidence. This team is playing well, and I expect that to continue all season for them.
Yeah, and we've got to talk about the Bullets. 0-1. I genuinely don't remember the last time the Bullets lost a game. I think you probably know better than me, but I'm casting my mind back 3, 4, maybe even 5 years since the Bullets last lost a game. This is not something the team are used to, not the mentality they are used to have to deal with. How do you think the Bullets are going to bounce back before their next game?
Well, UWE haven't lost a game this decade. Yeah. Let that set in. They have been a dominant force within the league structure. But this new league structure means new mentality and a new effort going forward. I said to you on broadcast, you either win or you learn. UWE have done a lot of winning. Now it's time to do a lot of learning. I think the coaches, they're strong, they are disciplined, and they are well versed in how to handle adversity. And there's nothing more adverse than losing your opening game at home to a team you expect to see playing well the whole season.
Will we see a repeat of the final? Will we see a repeat of this game in the final? We don't know. But what a game this has been today. We talked about Dylan Cadwallader, the MVP. Silas Starr, the MVP. I just want to shine a light on a couple of the Bristol players. Josh Brees had an unbelievable game out of the running back position. Isom, before he was knocked out of the game, was playing well out of the quarterback position as well as some of the receivers. The defence for Bristol, for the UWE, sorry, I'm so used to calling them Bristol over time, were playing so incredibly well. Are there any players you want to shine a light on as well from this UWE side?
I think you just need to shine a light on that defence. I think the Notts defence and the UWE defence showed that they came to play, and it's going to take a lot. It took big plays from Nottingham to get the win in the end. Although the UWE were giving up those short passes, it took deep plays down the field to really change the momentum of this. I think UWE needs to go to the drawing board on what their pass defence is looking like if they want to get some wins this year. But overall, offence, defence, they're looking good. They just weren't looking good enough today.
No, Jason Scott talked about Nottingham being a chameleon, and today they almost weren't a chameleon because they were pass focused. I'd love to know how many times Cadwallader managed to throw the ball there. It must have been maybe 40 pass attempts on the day. But we talked about the Bullets defence not being able to stop those short passes. Do you think they're going to be able to go to the drawing board and realise the mistakes they made this game and the ways they can improve it? Because, of course, these teams are going to meet in the regular season again as UWE have to travel up to the David Ross Sports Village in Nottingham to take on Nottingham Gold again. So do you think they can learn from the mistakes they made today and really put them in action for the rest of the season?
Absolutely. Listen, football is about learning. Every game is a learning experience. Even when you're on the field, one drive, you can learn from one play to the next. UWE are going to learn from what happened today. They're going to, Coach Jason Scott said it himself, they're going to go back and watch the footage. And that's what UWE are going to do. And I'm sure people are going to do the same.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of people interested in this footage and a lot of people who are going to wonder what is going on. But from Craig, from myself, I'm going to say thank you from Hillside Gardens in Bristol, where we just watched history happen. University of Nottingham Gold 21, UWE Bullets 20. Remember, there are more games being streamed this year. Loughborough at Nottingham on December the 7th will be the next game from the David Ross Sports Village. So from everyone here at Hillside Gardens in Bristol, thank you very much and good night.